the godfather of sports radio.
It is a final.
Here is Tony Bruno.
Tony Bruno. Beautiful.
Oh, and we begin a new week, a new day, almost the end of another month with this breaking news, Harry Mays.
Yes,
Antonio Brown, let's go to our NFL desk and your correspondent, the man who watches the NFL waiver wire better than anybody, including Adam Schefter, our own Harry Mays.
Yes, Tony, you know I've been a staunch follower of Antonio Brown's Twitter feed at AB84, and 38 minutes ago, AB tweets, "At this point, the risk is greater than the reward. Thank you, everyone who's been a part of this journey. I sincerely thank you for everything. Life goes on. 84." Which prompted Field Yates to tweet a few minutes after. Antonio Brown announces he's retiring from the NFL for the first time since he announced he was retiring from the NFL on September 22nd, 2019.
Exactly.
And then he includes those tweets. Tom Pelissero, for at least the third time since last September, free agent wideout Antonio Brown announces on Twitter he's done with the NFL.
There you have it. So if you're scoring at home, and if you are, congratulations. It's really been hot, and you want to stay inside and stay cool.
Keep the AC on when you're scoring.
Crank the AC all the way up, baby, because it's hot as hell all over this country, it appears. AB, until somebody pulls a hammy. There he is again.
And for that reason alone, I'm out.
So there you have it. All the different retirements in the this may be a new record because you know Brett Favre retired a lot and kept coming back, right?
Yep.
Boxers retire a lot and they keep coming back. This could be a single calendar year record for the number of retirements by one athlete in the history of sports, Harry.
Yeah, I mean,
how about that?
How many last tours did the Who do? You know?
They were going to do another one this summer.
I know.
They're going to have to postpone this year's final Who tour until next year.
They've been doing it since the mid-'90s, I think.
I enjoy people that have the Kiss shirts from 2000 saying, like, the farewell tour.
Farewell tour, yeah.
20 years later, they're still in the midst of it.
Bruce Springsteen, though, says he will never, ever finish touring because what would John Clark have to do?
That's true.
When he came to Philadelphia, our good buddy John Clark. So we got that. There's other breaking news right now, ladies and gentlemen. Trader Joe's is now racist. Trader Joe's is racist. And Trader Joe just died not that long ago. Even in death, Trader Joe now is going to remove racist branding and packaging from some of its international food items, Robin. Taco shells. Trader Joe's taco shells are racist. Now, don't ask me to explain. I'm just your humble
reporter.
I'm just a reporter, just a front man. Just think of me as the pretty guy on a TV box with great hair and great teeth who's giving you this kind of breaking news, Harry.
Well, we can't think of you like that.
Yeah, that's a hard
That's
a hard
really
visual.
hard visual.
I mean, throw up one of those pictures of you in the 70s or
Maybe
something.
that.
Yeah, maybe I can do
Can
it.
we just use our good buddy Dan Lust's photo as mine and pretend that's me?
Hey, that's up to you, man. And you and Dan, you got to work a deal out.
Exactly right.
But I am getting a haircut this week.
No, this is more breaking news.
Breaking news.
In the first 3 minutes of the show, we have broken 3 major stories. Who else is going to do that?
My
Seriously.
first haircut in 5 months, almost to the day, will occur Thursday morning at 8:30.
Will this be live on Twitch, by the way, at twitch.tv/Tony Bruno Show? Will it be with Atom? Will he be there?
No, he's not there.
Are you
He'll
sure?
be playing golf somewhere.
Now, is this in a hair salon or at home?
In a salon.
Okay.
What happens if Governor Wolf all of a sudden ups and says over the next couple of days, no more barbershops? Gyms are supposed to be opening up today.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
That's all to be determined, though. At any moment, Harry, everything could be shut down again.
Well, if that gets shut down, then she'll be coming to my house.
Although I am a little
I'm getting it
disappointed
cut.
because you were going to go for the mullet.
Well, I am. I'm going to let that grow.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get the party. What is it called? The what in the front?
What,
business in the front?
party in the back.
Look.
Yeah, I'm not going to go straight like, John Daly.
How about the greatest mullet of all time?
What, Jaromir Jagr's
No,
back in the
I'm
day?
not talking sports. His daughter is like a big star. The achy, breaky heart guy.
Billy Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
That was the great mullet. That's the
good.
best mullet of the 80s. Is there any doubt about that? Billy Ray Cyrus singing Achy, Breaky Heart?
That was pretty fabulous.
He's on the mullet Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Rushmore
No.
mullet. We'll have to do that on Thursday.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's Thursday.
exactly.
Yeah,
Doesn't
tune in.
Mike Gundy still rock a mullet for Oklahoma State?
Oh, absolutely.
Don't wear an OAN shirt. You know
You get shot for that.
Right.
You could put in prison for that. Meanwhile, we got a lot of stuff today, Harry Mays. Miss Robin is here. That guy, the couch guy, wearing the same shirt he was wearing last week, and now people, of course, on the Twitch stream will point that out.
Well,
Harry.
yeah, I know.
They're very, very.
They keep track of our laundry.
I know.
I wish they would do our laundry.
Exactly.
By the way, to all the Twitch followers at twitch.tv/Tony Bruno Show, what color underwear am I wearing today? That could be put it up on the poll. What color underwear am I wearing today to start a new week, Harry?
Are you wearing underwear? So I guess that answers that question as yes.
See, I see. You just gave it away, Harry. The answer is I'm not wearing any underwear. I'm about to go to Portland and Seattle and sit spread eagle in the middle of a street naked because, I like to get naked and then get the L.A. Times to call it a iconic photo of Tony Bruno sitting naked in the middle of a street.
That took some major cojones, though, to do
no,
what she did.
No, it's a chick. She didn't cojones.
I'm telling you, I
would do that.
If
I was going to get a write-up on the front page of the L.A. Times, which I already did, as you can see here, Harry.
Yeah, I see
I've
that.
been written up before in major publications back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying that it's one thing to get naked, and as a woman, and it's another thing to sit spread-eagled in front of God knows who.
But they didn't have the shot from the front. They only showed the back.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people that got the shot from the front.
No, the only people in front of her were the cops.
Standing behind.
No, she was standing first, but then she sat down, and all the media
for an iconic
photograph. She's going to be on the cover of National Geographic one day. She's going to get a Nobel Peace Prize.
Wow.
Jesus, she's a stone chick who got naked in the middle of a street. That happens every day in America.
Yeah.
Please,
for God's sake. Have you been to Portland or Seattle lately?
No.
Have you been to Venice Beach? Naked chicks are sitting spread eagle everywhere.
I can guarantee you that it's going to come out that she's some model somewhere.
Really?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
She'll get a statue made.
Yeah.
Sitting Bull. No, I thought we already got rid of that one. No. Anyway, let's get it back to sports here, Harry, because we got a lot of football to talk. Football is the big story today. The NFL players over the weekend, while you were out there playing golf and watching the guy I told you would win the Memorial, John Rahm, get it done, and while the golf experts on the show, like Couch Guy and Harry Mays, were touting all these other dudes, while Couch Guy was touting Tiger Woods making the cut as his big breaking news story.
Tone.
Yeah, and I want to know who forced that.
Tell you
because
what.
it was +2, and then all of a sudden, miraculously, by the time I got home, it was +3.
Tiger and Brooksy were at +3.
Yeah.
I want to kick him a bone.
Exactly.
Get these guys back in here.
Anyway, enough about golf. We'll get more golf later when Howie Tarrant goes hole by hole on what he did this weekend at his particular track. And he did not rip up the greens as soon as he was done playing 27 holes yesterday in the scorching heat. That's a real man,
27 on Saturday, 18 yesterday.
And it was like 100 degrees.
But it was in the heat of the day, like 2 in the afternoon.
That's a man right there.
Yeah.
That is a man.
I'm a man.
Exactly.
For somebody who doesn't like doing pretty much anything, it's amazing that you don't mind the heat at all, that you really
It's not the heat, Robin. It's the stupidity that gets you all the time.
Yes.
I love the heat, too. I love going out in the heat. It doesn't bother me. I was out there with the shirt off yesterday picking tomatoes in the backyard down in the lower 40 feet that I have in my backyard.
Were
not
you
the
wearing
lower
pants?
I was wearing pants, but I took the shirt off, so I want to get a little color before the summer.
Right.
I don't want to be called too
The
white.
summer's half over. What are you talking about?
It's a hot. You got to be careful out there, Harry. That sun's strong, man.
But Saturday, we were celebrating Mama Bruno's 96th
I saw
birthday.
the picture.
Yes.
And as I said, again, everything I say that's going to happen on the show happens. I said on Friday that my big plans for the weekend were to go to my sister's house up in Delco, Delaware County, and get my mother white girl wasted on her 96th birthday. And did I deliver? I brought her a bottle of nice pink Moscato. She's not doing that white Zin crap anymore.
I saw Silk Bra questioning
Silk
you
Bra
on-
was questioning my mom
Twitter.
drinking white Zinfandel.
Yeah.
No, my mom knows wine. White Zinfandel is not really wine.
No.
Pink Moscato now.
It was in 85.
Oh, yes, it was.
1985. I used
know.
to buy a lot of white Zinfandel
Oh,
for
I know.
a
It
certain
still
someone.
is. It still is, and with people who just don't understand.
Yeah.
And then I had those little glow sticks. I had a pack of those glow sticks. You know the ones you break and then they become light. So Robin made a crown for my mom because she is the queen. And there I am drinking a very nice, what was that?
What were you drinking?
We were drinking Red Zin.
Okay, you were drinking something
I was drinking
different.
Red Zin,
okay.
and then my mom drinking the pink Moscato. And we took a picture, and there it is. It's now my avatar. Yes, I was wearing the same shirt, but I washed it.
At 96, even if we don't consider pink Moscato a wine that we would drink, you give somebody at 96 anything.
Yeah, you're going to tell my mom what she's supposed to be drinking?
No.
She likes pink Moscato. She likes the sweet stuff. She's older. She's a sweet lady.
Does she like, what's the German white wine?
Oh, the Gewürztraminer?
Geliebsfraumilch.
Like Riesling or something?
Yeah,
Well, there's
Riesling.
Riesling,
There's a brand,
and then there's
I think.
Liebfraumilch, which is another sweet wine.
We used to call it the
Gewürztraminer. And then there's Gewürztraminer, all
Exactly.
three.
Yeah, not that
Riesling's
one.
the least amount of sweetness out of the
okay.
three.
Exactly.
Wow.
Just in case you wanted to know. That was way too much.
So that was the highlight of the weekend for me. And then I watched baseball last night, Harry. Exhibition. They're calling it, what are they calling this
Is
thing
it
now?
summer training?
Summer camp.
Oh, okay.
Summer camp.
Well, yeah, you can't call it spring training.
No, it's summer camp, and it was pretty interesting. Nobody in the stands. They were playing the sound effects. And I'll tell you what, people were complaining about it. I like the sound in the. For example, you watch MLS. I was watching some European soccer. It sounds good.
Yeah.
It sounds good with the fake crowd noise.
I
It doesn't
agree.
sound fake.
I don't miss the crowd, to be honest with you.
No, it's because you're watching it at home.
Yeah.
And so we've got to get to the football. You know who's going to join us this hour? A man who played in this league a long time. Great analyst, and he's got a dominant morning show in Denver radio.
He's got some Super Bowl rings.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Mark Schlereth. No, we're not going to talk about barbecue sauce for 25 minutes. Maybe 2 segments of barbecue sauce, not just one today.
You go Schlereth rather than Schlereth?
I go Schlereth. I go Stink. You
go Stink because Greeny called him Stink.
No, because
all the
I
time.
know him.
Okay.
I know him, too. You think Greeny's the first guy that ever
No,
talked
I'm
to Mark
just saying,
Schlereth?
like, that's why I would never do it.
I really don't call him Stink.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's going to join us because I want to know what's going on. The players, I noticed, I was all top of this. Drew Brees was the first guy to tweet out about let us play.
I saw Wentz's tweet.
And then Carson Wentz tweets, and then it was almost the identical tweet. So I'm thinking, okay, this is like watching political cable news. They all get the talking points,
Right.
and they're all saying the same thing. So they're
Right.
saying something's up here. And it goes back to Friday when our own John McMullen was on this show and was talking about the conference call with the 2 NFL Player Association bros, telling the media, hey, man, I don't know if our guys are going to show up if they don't get their act together. So Mark Schlereth will get his opinion on this.
Hashtag we want to play.
We want to play. Hey, I want to play all the time, baby. Actually, I don't want to work. I just want to bang on the drum all day, Harry. But we're here because we're essential. Mark Schlereth is going to join us. Howard Eskin.
Yes.
Finally doing something productive with his life.
He's growing a big beard.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to a Brokeback Mountain when you look at him.
Looks like Santa Claus.
Yes, he does.
I was thinking more, what was the Adams? The
Grizzly Adams?
The Grizzly Adams. I'm thinking more Grizzly Adams.
What was the dude's name who played Grizzly Adams, Robin? We'll have the answer
What is
to
that in that 70s TV series?
Yeah,
I think it was the early 80s.
Was it 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget.
And don't forget, Father Murphy was Merlin Olsen. You remember that show?
Yeah.
But we'll tell you the answer to that and everything else. We're just getting started. A full show, lots of fun, lots of stuff to talk about, too. So don't go anywhere. Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, the entire crowd right here on SiriusXM 211, twitch.tv/Tony Bruno Show if you want to watch, too. And I know you like to watch. So do I.
What was his name?
Dan Haggerty.
Yes.
That's right. Dan Haggerty.
Dan Haggerty. God, I loved all those shows.
Is he still alive or did he die?
No, he died.
I
for 4 years.
watched.
Was it COVID-19?
He was patient 0. They counted him as number 1.
I think I might have seen every single one of the Grizzly Adams movies. I loved those as a kid.
His beard never matched his hair, though, man. How did the guy have blonde hair and a gray beard?
Hey,
How
no,
do you do
he
that
had
when you're out in the
blonde-
middle of the woods?
He had
when you're screwing
blonde
around with
in
bears.
the beard.
So we have Schlereth coming up. I actually met Mark Schlereth when I was 8 years old.
You think he'll remember? Should we bring
No. But I was on a tour of the ESPN studios in Bristol.
Dude, what were you doing up there?
It was my buddy. His mom worked for Verizon, and she somehow won. She was like a saleswoman. She won some sort of top prize. It was like a full studio tour of ESPN Bristol. Got to meet Bob Lee. Bob Lee right at his desk, right in his cubicle.
Dude, did you come up and look from my desk right there, pal?
That would have been
Hold
when I
on
was
just a
8
second,
years
Mark.
old. 2005. So.
He's making me dizzy, man. He's got his count. Oh,
There
you're
we
making me dizzy, bro.
Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear.
There.
You're making me dizzy,
look
man.
at
I'm
you.
like tripping now.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Come on, man. This is high tech for me, Tony.
So, Mark, real quick, we are in break right now. As soon as the music starts, we will be coming back. So if we're talking, just don't talk during the
So
music.
what's the
and we'll come
station?
back.
What's the frequency up there, Kenneth?
Kenneth.
Mark, can you hear me?
Oops.
Can you hear me? Mark, can you hear me still?
Have you loud and clear, buddy.
What's the frequency of your now number one rated morning show in Denver? I always get the numbers messed up.
104.3, The Fan in Denver.
The Fan.
Yeah. And then the Stinking Truth podcast, everywhere you can find a podcast.
See, and Harry doesn't like when I refer to you as stink, and I know Greeny did too, but you call it the Stinking Truth. So you're not offended by that. Will you tell Harry, my partner here, that that's not offensive to you?
It's not offensive. Just roll with it, man.
Exactly right.
It's how everybody knows me anyhow, man.
Now, who's your partner on that morning show? What's the name? Who's your partner on that morning show in Denver? Can you hear me?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Not the wide
Mike
receiver
Evans.
for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No, it's not that Mike Evans. It's a different Mike Evans.
I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Are you chewing now, right? Do you have like some chew in there?
I just am naturally fat right now. I just am naturally chubby.
No, I'm saying, are you chewing some tobacco? Do you have like a chaw in there?
No.
You have some dip? Or you're just eating something? All right.
Yeah, I was just eating some chips before I came on.
That's keto chips, though, right? That's what we're doing, keto chips.
Yeah, oh yeah. Everything is keto until it's not keto.
Oh, we had a cheat day on Saturday. It was awesome.
Pizza, lasagna, eggplant parm, red wine. I gained 6 pounds in one day. Seriously, you go off keto one day, you gain 6 pounds.
I have my cheat day. I do a 1 strict day and then 6 cheat days.
Yeah, that's
where
I'm
at right now.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go now. Now that I'm basically off the keto. I'm out.
Good.
I'm
No, you're
out.
not.
Good.
I'm out on keto. I got down. I lost 20 pounds, and then I plateaued, and I lose a pound, and then I gain 3, and then I lose a pound. I'm like, dude, I just want to lose another 10 pounds, and I'm not a dieting guy because you see, I'm not a heavy guy. I just wanted to get down to like 190, and I can't get under 200. It's an outrage.
Coming back.
All right, here we go.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Back here on Monday, a new week, and football, Harry, once again is king. Because today the owners have been forced into a emergency meeting by the players over the weekend.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? On the week that baseball is going to come back on Thursday night, football steals the show right from the start of the week.
Exactly. Now, everybody's excited about any sport coming back. If
course.
baseball's playing these summer games. We go to a man. We were going to talk to him about the NFL and how players are reacting, but I think today is a good day to talk about chili. Because I'm understanding that the stinking good green chili may be the best chili in the country right now. And so we bring in our chili expert, the great Mark Schlereth, or Schlereth, depending on how you call. I call him Stink. You know why it's Stink, Harry? Because his podcast is his Stinkin' Truth podcast.
Exactly.
And he is Mark Schlereth, or Schlereth. I call him Schlereth because I know him a little bit. Mark, how are you, buddy?
Tony, man, always good to be on with you. I appreciate the props. I appreciate the shout-outs.
Now, of course, and the most important news recently, his show in Denver on the mornings on 104.3 The Fan with Mike Evans, dominant, number one sports show, maybe show of any kind in the mornings in Denver, Colorado, Harry. So we got to give him a roaring round of
awesome.
applause for that. And yet he still comes on this show on SiriusXM 211.
Now, are you doing that show in the studio, or do you do that on a Zoom too?
We do it in studio. I mean, we have enough studios, so we separate. So everybody's in a different studio. The technical producer is one, the producer is in another.
Is he using his phone to do this?
We lost him.
We got to get him back, though.
Yep.
That's Mark Schlereth, and he'll get back to us in a moment here.
104.3 The Fan.
The Fan. Denver's Sports Talk Blowtorch.
Now, that's not the same station that your buddy from the Denver Nuggets was on, too, right?
I don't believe so.
We had him on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't think he's on that same station. You know, every station, all these cities have like 4 or 5 sports stations now, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're talking about the former Denver Nugget great
Yes.
who worked with Dan Issel every once in a while.
Correct.
Yes. No, that's not the same station. It's like Philly. How many sports stations are there in this town? Like Phoenix has like 5 sports stations.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. I guess there's a lot of frequencies and airtime to fill.
Yes.
Not enough religious programming available to fill up all those channels.
Houston has a bunch, too.
Exactly. All right, Stink. Now, are you on your phone or are you using a computer? You're sideways again now. I have to turn sideways to watch you.
Okay. All right.
Let me turn this way.
I apologize. I'm on my phone, and I don't know what the hell you know what? Somebody called me, Tony, and I forgot to put it on airplane mode.
Damn, man.
But I'm back. I'm back. Yeah.
Just see if I order a case of the stinking green chilies now, man.
yeah, you're not going to order them now. I don't blame you either. So, but I put it back on airplane mode, so that shouldn't happen again. Somebody called. Of course, it was spam. You know, it's an election time, right?
Exactly.
So all you get is all these damn spam calls from, people across the country. Anyhow, so I apologize for that.
That's all right. I always get them from my car warranty is up, and my car warranty's been up for 3 years, so I know right away they're full of crap. All right, Mark, now the players are spoken out. I knew it was some sort of a planned thing because I saw Drew Brees and I saw Carson Wentz, and then it was absolutely
Russell
the floodgates,
Wilson.
Russell Wilson. And I understand Brian Jones, the former Cowboy now in Miami, was the guy who came up with this idea. I don't have a problem with the players speaking up, but they had to force the owners, Mark, into having an emergency meeting on a Monday because they're worried about playing. And listen, everybody worries about safety right now, but do you think that with what's happening, I'm getting the sense with all the fans who are now tired of the baseball negotiations, tired of all these other sports, are they going to play, are they not going to play, and we get safety again. But now the players, as they get ready to go back to training camp, are speaking out. Where do you stand on this? I know you have to support the players because they are the product, but you think the fans are getting a little tired of all of this stuff going on when they can't get tested and they have to go to work if they work in the supermarket or drive a truck and all these other essential people, and now they're hearing athletes complaining every day?
Sure. I'm sure there's part of that, and I understand kind of both aspects of it. The one thing about baseball, and I always said this about baseball during their negotiation, is at least they're honest about it. They're fighting over money, and they're fighting publicly over money. And, they can talk about safety, but it was really the fight over money. And at least they're honest about it, right? They came out and they go in head-to-head. And, the NFL really, they fight about or they're talking about player safety. But really what this is about is players don't want to play it in the preseason games. They don't get paid to play in preseason games, right? So there's the safety aspect of that. The other thing is, from an ownership standpoint, is why would I want to accept, like as a player, I'm going to accept the majority, the lion's share of the risk factor, right? I'm going out, I'm playing a sport, it's a contact sport, I can get hurt, there's concussion issues, there's injury issues, and on top of that, now we're dealing with COVID issues as well. So I'm the one taking the lion's share of that risk, but you want now to put some of the financial responsibility on me as well as a player. Can we put something in escrow? Can we eliminate $40 million per team of the cap? So the players are sitting there going, wait a minute, right? You can't ask me to take all the risk and then also bail you out on the financial side as ownership. So that's where the players come in to contact, where the owners always have the upper hand, Tony, and you know this, 60% of the guys are on minimum wage contracts. So you notice who all came out and said, it's all about safety and what are we going to do? It's all guys that could afford for the league not to play this year. Yep. You don't hear the guys that are rank and file saying, hey, I'm worried about safety. No, they're worried about gaining a paycheck. And that's the majority of guys. The career still lasts 3.4 years. So I want a paycheck. I'm coming, come hell or high water, I'm coming into camp and I'm going to play because I need the money. And so that's where they're playing right now, or that's where they're butting heads right now. But the NFL already came out and said, hey, we'll limit it instead of 2 preseason games from 4. Now we're talking about 1 preseason game. We'll see exactly where they end up. But, this is about money. It's like the NBA coming out and saying the bubble, and we got to figure this thing out, and then saying, hey, we're going to pay 8 regular season games to satisfy our RSN contracts, right? I mean, that's really what that is about. That's about money as well.
Hey, Mark, from a virus standpoint, and, since this isn't a sport that can be played in a bubble, what do you think is the biggest challenge to get the season going and to keep it going through through the end?
Obviously, it's bigger numbers. It's a contact sport, so you're, face-to-face with guys on a consistent basis. And you've got a lot of people within a locker room. So, having your social distancing is going to be hard. Obviously, what are you going to do? Is everybody going to be in a mask inside the locker room? The amount of testing and things that are going to happen. So all those things are challenges, and I think all of those things have been discussed. I don't know that they've been released. I think they've all been discussed, and I think the NFL has a plan. It's just one of those situations where we're not going to release our plan and open it to scrutiny because our plan is fluid. And so we'll see exactly kind of how that goes. But I really believe, like, baseball's been going on for a couple of weeks now. Aroldis Chapman tested positive for coronavirus. They quarantined him. The rest of the team didn't have, this mass infection or anything. So I think there's a lot of people that feel pretty comfortable or pretty confident that the season is going to go off, and there will be some hiccups along the way, but they want to leave some wiggle room to make sure that they can deal with those things as these motions are fluid throughout the NFL season.
No, you're right. Mark Schlereth joining us, and the thing is, football of all the sports is the only sport that really hasn't had anything stopped. I mean, the Super Bowl happened in Miami.
Draft.
The draft took place virtually. And so their entire process, even though there were some bumps, the free agency worked. So they really haven't missed a beat as far as conducting business from the end of the Super Bowl back in early February right on through now. Here we are in the summer where training camps are opening. So I guess that's why some people are a little irked right now as far as the fans are concerned. People always say, I'm not going to go to a game now. These guys are complaining about going back to work when people are working every day. And so that's the part that's a little bit sticky to me is we understand the players want to be safe. They are the product. But we also understand that you had a league that basically was fortunate to go through this entire year without having to shut anything down.
Question about that, and that's one of the things that irritates the players is, hey, we're going to put ourselves at a health risk, and we want to play, but don't also ask us to mitigate your losses at the same time. Now, I know the rest of the world has done that, right? I mean, there's a lot of businesses that have stopped paying bonuses and asked employees to take reductions in salary because of the lack of business going on in this country. So I understand that. But the product is still the players. Nobody comes to an NFL game to see an owner sit around his ass off. That's not why they come. They come to watch the players. Nobody comes to watch the coach call plays. They come to watch the players. And so you've got to come to an agreement at some point. And I believe they'll get this done. They're having the emergency meeting, but I believe they'll get this done and the players will be back at camp. And, hey, there's going to be guys that will test positive. But I think in the long run, I think this thing will go off and they'll find a way to play games and they'll find a way to start this season. I don't know that it's going to be on time. My gut says, we're going to have to wait and see. But I feel like right now that's the plan, and the NFL feels pretty confident about kicking this thing off in September.
Do you think this would have played out similarly when you played back in your day, where I think that the players by and large had a sort of a different mindset than they do now?
I think that the players, number one, we weren't making that kind of money. So, everybody needed to come to camp. I remember after my rookie year, I started halfway through the season of my rookie year, and I needed to come back to camp to get those $750 camp checks, right? I was like, shoot, I'm about out of money. I bought a house and, I've got a mortgage and I've got a wife and 2 kids and I need some, funds. So, it's different, obviously, today with the money than it was back then. But, there's a bit of a different mindset as well of what you were willing to do. And obviously as the science has increased and we understand a little bit more about head trauma and all those things. It's a little bit different now than it was then, but most players want to play. That's what they want to do. You have been blessed. You've been touched by the hand of God to be able to play this game. And most guys, it is kind of the lifeblood that courses through their veins. So most guys want to show up. Most guys want to play.
Mark Schlereth, of course, one of the big stories, Mark, you played in Denver with the Rings and in Washington as well, and that whole Washington thing coming apart, and it looks like Dan Snyder's going to escape the the efforts to push him out because it's all on his underlings now, and so he has survived that. You played there. You know what's going on in Washington. You obviously work with Fox Sports, so you're around the league all the time. You think there's any way they're going to force Dan Snyder out after what happened last week? Because it certainly looks like that's what they wanted. Not just the name change, which they've wanted for decades, but now to get this guy out as an owner.
I don't know, unless they can link him to knowledge of the sexual harassment and involvement in sexual harassment. I don't think they'll be able to push him out like they did in Carolina with Jerry Richardson. So, obviously they've got a lot of things to do to rectify that organization. And I was texting with Ron Rivera just last week. Ron is a former player, is a man of great integrity. So they have the right person in place to clean that up. By the way, he had mentioned that, his daughter is going to be working with the Washington Redskins. So he has a lot of internal motivation to make sure that they clean that up. So he's the right man for that job. But I do think Daniel Snyder, unless they can link him directly to the sexual harassment stuff that was going on, I do think he escapes not punitive damages, but having to sell his football team.
What's your take on the Dak Prescott situation? Obviously going to play this year under the franchise tag. Do you think that Dallas really does intend on getting a deal done at some point in time with their quarterback?
Can't. The thing that drove me crazy about the whole Dak Prescott situation was, the Dallas Cowboys, they kept releasing the contract terms. One thing I know about players and agents, they don't release a contract term unless they're going to sign it, right? They don't say, hey, look, we got this money, but we're not going to sign it because it's not enough money. They don't do that. Teams do that to put pressure on the player publicly to sign a contract that's less than his quote-unquote value. And the thing that drives me crazy about organizations is they all claim salary cap victim. Hey, man, we're a victim of the salary cap. The salary cap can totally be manipulated. You can play anybody or pay anybody that you want to pay. That's the way the salary cap works. You can always find money. You can manipulate the cap. You can redo other people's contracts. Just look at Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes, with Chris Jones. If your intent is to get it done, you'll find a way to get it done. And the other thing that drives me crazy about organizations is you can't be afraid to set the market, because the market is constantly evolving, constantly changing, and always going up. And so, if you'd have come to Dak Prescott and said it a year ago and set it at $28 million, he probably would have signed it. Now he's going to be upwards of $35, $40 million that you don't want to pay him. If you'd have just said it early, you'd have been okay. But you decided to play this game with Dak Prescott. You tried to smear him a bit in the open market by releasing the contract that wasn't going to get signed to kind of guilt him into it. That's a bad way to play. Everybody talked about Jimmy Garoppolo when he signed a $27 million deal, and we're like, oh, my God, how can you play Jimmy Garoppolo that he's only played, he's coming off an ACL and he's only played, 13 games in his career. Guess what? He looks like a bargain basement quarterback right now at $27 million a year, doesn't he? Don't be afraid to set the market.
Mark Schlereth getting it done. So what's the number now of sauces that are available on all your great product up there with the Stinkin', well, not just the Stinkin' Truth podcast, which you can get on any app that you have that has a podcast, but with the barbecue stuff?
A green chili sauce that we have a medium pork, a hot pork, a vegetarian, a medium chicken, a hot chicken, and we have a queso dip. So we have 6 different products here in the local Denver. We do ship, but in the local Denver, we're in New Mexico. We are also in Arizona and all of Colorado. So those things have done done well over the last 12 years. And Tony, you're a guy that has a ton of money. So if you'd like to buy my company, let me know. I'll give it to you this song and a dance, my friend.
Now you can get it at Costco too, I see, and then King Supers out there, right?
King Supers and all the Costcos in Arizona, in New Mexico, in Colorado as well. Yeah. So
but the easiest way to get it is just to go to stinkinggood.com.
Stinking Good, right? No, just stinkinggood.com.
You can do that as well.
Now, what about keto? Do you have anything for keto?
Well, actually, I think our chili actually fits into keto. We are gluten-free. We are very low-calorie, gluten-free, high protein. It's pretty much the perfect food. So, and it ramps up. It's supposed to ramp up your calorie burning, right? Because it's hot and spicy. Mm-hmm. So, how are you going to go wrong with that? I
can't. It's too hot for Alaska, though, where you were from originally. Now, can they sell it in Alaska without hurting people?
They can sell it in Alaska. It's just a pain in the ass to get it up there. That's all. Yeah.
Well, Mark, last thing, and of course, we live in a world now, you do it every day when you do radio. Over the last 4 months, it's like, I don't think there's going to be sports. And then the next day, it looks good. So I think we're seeing baseball being played. We're seeing golf after a couple of weeks ago where they had a couple of caddies, test positive. Now it seems like things have been good on the golf tour for a couple of weeks. NASCAR, the sports that are being played overseas, and even the soccer. The MLS is back. Tournament's been going well. So I'm a positive guy. I see sports returning, and I see them, obviously these leagues have it pretty much under control. We'll see what happens in the NBA bubble, and we'll see what happens with football. But the baseball stuff is encouraging, the soccer and all the other sports that are being played, golf, as you mentioned. This is a positive sign to me. Do you feel better, or do you go up and down on a roller coaster like the rest of us, depending on what the late news of the day is concerning the virus?
I don't buy into the news of the day, Chicken Little, the sky is falling, because I think there are a lot of people that unfortunately live their lives that way. They can't wait for bad news. They just are hoping for disaster and hoping that everybody fails. They almost take like a sense of pride or accomplishment when other people fail. I don't live my life that way, man. I want everybody to win. I want people to make money. I want the economy. Like, I want to be safe and I want to do all those things, but I don't live my life rooting for other people to fail. It's just not how I operate. So I have been positive through this whole thing. And the baseball thing has been really positive over the last couple of weeks to watch them play, watch them practice, watch some of these exhibition games. I've been following the KBO in Korea, watching the Korean baseball organization go and watching those games. I've been following the league in Taiwan. So, all these things to me are very positive signs. And I'm very optimistic and in a very positive state that the NFL is going to go as well. And listen, I need to be, because it's one of the jobs I have is calling NFL games for Fox. So, I have a desire for that to happen. I believe that's going to happen.
Well, you follow Mark on Twitter at Mark Schlereth, and I got to know, have you done any more calling out of Twitter trolls like you did a few years ago with the bench press situation?
Every now and again, every now and again, I have to put some people in their place. But that's just fun. People. I was catching my son the other day because my son is still, he's still throwing, and we're trying to get signed. So I'm talking to probably 20 different major league teams, and I'm talking to the Korean League and the Taiwanese League, and so he needed a throw the other day. So I'm out in the yard catching him. And I do it from 80 feet. He's still throwing the mid-90s.
I saw that.
And it's absolutely frightening. And so then I start getting people, busting my hump about my throwing mechanics going back. I go, you separate your shoulder 7 times, and you play 12 years in the NFL. Let me see how you throw. It's all wrist. I'm like, it hurts. That stuff hurts.
And you're an offensive lineman. You're wearing a pitcher.
Yeah. Yeah, but everybody, even Derek Holland was on me. I'm like, hey, Derek, no, don't let me come out to wherever you are right now and open a can on you, Derek. So, no, he's a great guy. He's a lot of fun, but it's always funny. There's a million critics out there, right? Everybody that doesn't want to do anything but just wants to criticize the way you do it. So that's fine. I'll play along.
And that's what I do, and that's why I'm unafraid as well. I don't let anybody give me any crap or tell me what to say or think. You know, that's what makes America. As long as it's still America and there's still a First Amendment, I'm going to speak my mind, and I'm not going to let any trolls come after me. Harry may do that, but I won't stand for that crap.
Now, Mark, we have somebody.
Harry's not doing it either.
Mark, this is Miss Robin. We have Joey Binoco on the Twitch stream. He's saying, "Ask Mark about his lawn. He will light up."
Now, Joey's out there, and he's out in Denver, isn't he? Or he's in Colorado?
I think so.
He's
so,
in Colorado.
what is it about your lawn that?
I don't have any hobbies other than landscaping and lawn work. And so, as a matter of fact, this is no lie. Today I was out there putzing around in my yard this morning after I got done with my radio show, and some wonderful lady is walking with, I would assume it was her grandkids, and she walked by, and I took my little headphones out because she was saying something to me. I said, "Pardon me, I didn't get that." And she goes, "You have the most beautiful yard in the neighborhood." And my natural response was like, "Yeah, I know." But I said to her, "Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. It's my only hobby." So my yard is kicking your yard's ass, and I'm not afraid to let you know about it. As a matter of fact, I will occasionally write notes to my neighbors, and I will put it on their doors, and I write notes from my lawn and saying, "Hey, I noticed how poorly you're looking over there. Is everything okay? You look sick. Can I help you with anything? Sign Mark's Lawn." And so
you're lawn shaming.
Lawn shaming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm what I would call a really good loser, but I'm a really bad winner. And right now, I am kicking everybody's ass in the neighborhood. So it's not even close.
Is it the key? It's obviously irrigation, but fertilization. Are you a Scott's guy? What do you use, Mark? I want to get a free plug in here. So I don't have a lawn.
Yeah, I use some natural products. I use this natural product called Revive. I think it's made here in Colorado. I also use a little Rich Lawn, made here in Colorado as well. So I try to stay as natural and dog friendly as possible.
What about CBD? Do you sprinkle any CBD in the lawn?
No. I'm using that for myself. And so I do that, but I will top dress my lawn. So I'll use the soil and seed mixture, and I'll put it in there. And it's all about irrigation. You know, I always say this about culture. Culture of an organization is a lot like irrigation. Culture will follow the path of least resistance. So if you get a spot in your lawn that's kind of what I would call hydrophobic, it's not accepting water, you've got to figure out how to get the water to absorb into that soil. So culture is a lot like that. It follows the path of least resistance. So if you're not working on it on an everyday basis, you become the skins. You know, you have that bad culture, and that will permeate your whole organization. And the next thing you know, you'll be absolute garbage.
Ladies and gentlemen, where else are you going to get chili talk, lawn talk, football talk, baseball talk? I mean, everything you can mix into one segment.
And Twitter troll bashing talk.
Exactly. Everything in one beautiful package. Mark, always great to talk to you, man. Continued success out there in Fort Collins and Denver, Colorado. Hello. And remember, it's all about the altitude, man. It's all about the altitude.
Thank you, Tony, man. Harry, always great catching up with you guys.
Thank you,
Mark.
man. There he is, Mark Schlereth.
Yep.
How good is that stuff, man?
Yeah, it's great.
That's
that
good
lawn.
stuff.
I'm looking at pictures of this lawn, man.
That's beautiful.
Really, it looks like Coors Field, like the outfield at Coors Field, man. Incredible.
Listen, I was like that when I had lawns. I wanted my lawn to be the best.
Yeah.
He's out there cutting. You think he has some schlep doing his lawn?
No, I think he does it himself.
I bet you he cuts his own grass, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any nice patterns or designs in there, though. I got to get him to do the crisp.
Sounds like, but my favorite part is that he writes notes to neighbors
shamer.
from his lawn.
He's a lawn
shamer.
Love that. 215-462-TONY, 215-462-8669. The Strapper line, was it active over the weekend? We'll find out. You can call it 24/7, 856-818-4045, 856-818-4045. It's a recorded line, so leave your message carefully.
Now, I bet you he has a big enough lawn that he needs one of those ride-on lawnmowers, right?
Absolutely.
He's not pushing.
I had a ride-on lawnmower. I had one of those. I had one of the very first ones where you just move the handles and it goes 360.
Oh, yeah. Was it a John Deere?
No, it was a weird company, and they were one of the first to have it. But I love that thing, man. You could just
Cub
do a 360. No, it wasn't a well-known brand.
I like all the lawnmowers that they have now that aren't like a little mini tractor. They're just a seat on top. It almost looks like you're hovering, and then they have the 2 paddles that you steer with.
Yeah,
rather than
that's
steering
what
wheel.
I had. It's just 2 paddles, and you pull whack, and it goes around
Yeah.
in the forward. Then you push both of them forward to go full speed straight. But my son AJ's got he's got a Kubota.
Yeah, Kubota.
And he's got
It's orange, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got the gigantic cutters. He's got a front end loader on it. He's got all the attachments for it, man.
Yeah.
That thing costs more than like a luxury car to buy all the attachments for that. But he's got like 5 acres of land.
Yeah, you need that kind of thing.
Damn right, man.
Probably needs a 4-wheel ATV too.
No, he doesn't have an ATV.
One of those, like one of those Gators.
He doesn't have one of those yet, which is
No.
kind of surprising because his neighbor does. Yeah, all of his neighbors do.
Yeah, he's not a big ATV guy. He likes
Yeah.
his Kubota, man. That thing cranks too.
If he goes out and wants to do stuff, it's on the boat rather than out in the woods. He's more of a fisherman than a hunter, although he does both.
Well, he doesn't really hunt. I mean, deer, because there's a million deer that come
Yeah.
onto their property all the time, but they're not allowed to just shoot deer anytime they want.
Wow, Joey Binoco says that Mark hand mows his lawn like a walk behind and he cross cuts it.
That's a good job out of it. Boy,
Wow.
that's a stalker right there, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe,
Well,
you
he
a
must
stalker?
talk about it
No,
on the
No,
show.
he does. That's a good. That's good local. That's what's
Yeah.
great about this show. There are people who've seen Mark
Yeah.
Schlereth's lawn.
He
That's a good
says,
job,
and
man.
you just saw it, Harry, yourself. He says that Mark's lot isn't that big, but it looks like Augusta National.
Yeah.
That takes some dedication.
Now, is he following you on Twitter?
Yes,
Absolutely.
he
Come
is.
on, man. I don't even have to ask him, Harry. I don't even have to ask him. I mean, we go way back. Even before Colin Farrell here met him up at ESPN, I was rolling with Stink. You know what I'm saying?
2005. I was 8 years old.
That was like 10 years after, actually 15 years after I was at ESPN. Oh, wait a minute. We have now another bizarre. We have John Morosi. Did you see this, Harry? We have to do breaking baseball news.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is, but what?
John Morosi.
Morosi.
He works for the MLB Network, NHL Network.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Always good to have conversations with former players, smart guys who respect the game, respect the world, Harry, and respect their lawns. Feed it!
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
You know, he's
Feed your lawn! Feed it!
One of the best as far as like being an accomplished player.
Absolutely.
And moving into the broadcast, he has just owned it. I
He's
mean,
a natural.
radio, TV,
Yeah.
he is a natural.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have predictions coming in. You know John Morosi. You've heard
Sure.
of him, right? John Morosi's been around baseball a long time, MLB Network. And a lot of people love predictions this time of the year. And now we're starting to see – wait, I got to bring this up, though. I want to play this, Robin, because, you know, we love predictions. I haven't made any predictions yet. Harry and I have not run down – because I'm just seeing this for the first time, so that's why I didn't have it ready. But the thing with John Morosi is he's flat out saying it. We've only seen a couple of these summertime games with summer camp games. We saw the Phillies going to Washington in that particular case.
Bryce Harper
Bryce
and Didi
Harper.
Gregorius hit a couple homers off of Scherzer, right?
And then you had Judge up in New York hit a couple of bombs, and now everybody's going crazy about it. And hopefully he stays healthy. Aaron Judge is a beast if he's healthy.
Didn't they play the Mets?
Yeah, they smoked the Mets.
They beat the Mets like redhead stepchild for 2 days straight.
Didn't he hit a homer in his first at bat coming back from the injury?
Last season?
No, this last
He hit
week.
two. He hit 2 in one game last.
No, he didn't. His first at bat was last. No, he didn't hit. Not in the first game. No, he didn't. He hit a home run, 2 home runs yesterday.
Yeah,
They
he hit
won
2 home
6-0.
runs yesterday against the Mets. And so if Aaron Judge is healthy, the Yankees, who already are good,
Yeah.
and really have had him hurt a lot in his first couple of years, they're the team to beat. But we're going to play this tape right now, Robin. You have Joey. We have this up. John Morosi already making predictions on who will win in the National League. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I love to surprise and have a little fun with my predictions.
I'm sorry, Robin. I just thought I had it right.
I hate to do it to you.
Would you like to just send it to me so that I can
Just
do it?
look up John Morosi on Twitter,
Okay.
please. I don't know why this is
Can
happening.
you just mute that?
I'm trying to, Robin.
Do it from your...
You guys have shut me out anymore, so now when I try to do something that's like
Do it
fresh...
from your...
I didn't shut him out of anything.
No, Robin's like, don't play anything on your computer. And so my computer's never on so I can play it on the air. And then I saw the John Morosi thing, and I wanted to switch it up and put a little baseball chatter in here. But no.
Why? Why, Robin? Why?
It's not Moroski. It's Morosi.
I know.
Morosi.
I spelled it
Morosi.
wrong. There we go.
Jesus. This is why, because it takes forever to try to get something to her, and I can do it myself here.
Yes.
There it is. It's right there.
There he is.
All right, now let's play.
Okay, hold on.
It's only a minute. I want to hear what John Morosi has to say, Harry.
Exactly.
Shockingly, he picks the Yankees to win in the American League East, which I know no one has made that bold
I love to
prediction.
surprise and have a little fun with my predictions, but I can't quite do that with a stunning upset in the American League East. Yes, I believe, like many, the Yankees win the division this year. Just look at the performance of the Yankees over the weekend. On Sunday, you had Jordan Montgomery, 5 scoreless innings, Judge, 2 home runs, Stanton, 1 home run. Those are all the encouraging health indicators the Yankees wanted to see. I simply do not see a better team in the division right now than the New York Yankees. I project the Rays to finish second. This is going to be a year where your organizational depth is so crucial. The Rays have proven they have it time and time again. The Jays are getting close. I look for them to be a wild card contender deep into the season, but maybe not quite close enough to finish ahead of the Rays. And then the Red Sox in 4th and the Orioles in 5th.
I thought he picked the Phillies in there. That's what the headline
I think
said.
it was just the AL East.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I thought it
seemed
said something about the Phillies.
But I gotta call our Mr. Yankee fan over here, couch guy out.
That's
Because
the couch guy.
Aaron Judge on Wednesday night of last week, when returning from an injury with a stiff neck, first at bat hit a home run.
Yeah, but that wasn't in an exhibition summer game. That
It was
wasn't
in a
like
game.
No, it was in a simulated.
Yeah, it was in some sort of game.
It was an inter-squad game
it's an
against his
inter-squad game.
teammates.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't in the summer camp, Harry.
Aaron Judge homers in Wednesday's scrimmage. That's what I was referring to.
We were talking exhibition. So,
Dude,
there's not a
he
scrimmage.
returned Wednesday, you fraud.
Bryce Harper's
Yankee
been hitting home
fraud.
runs against his own teammates too for the
Exactly.
last
All
week.
I'm saying
talking
is
about
that
that.
happened.
This is summer
Who cares
camp.
about the damn Mets?
This is summer camp. These are rivalries. I just saw the stat that the Chicago White Sox had unbelievable ratings over the weekend showing these summer games.
Yeah, and the Phillies, the Saturday game wasn't even on television.
I know.
You know, it'll be on television tonight when the Phillies go up there to get
play the
spanked
Yankees.
around in the Bronx.
Oh, they're playing
tonight.
the Yankees
yes,
tonight
Sir,
in a
Yankees.
meaningless game?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I will not watch.
But these are exhibition games.
Yeah,
these are not scrimmages playing your own teammates who are lobbing a ball up to you so you
Hey,
can hit it into the upper
All
deck.
I'm saying is he hit a home run in his first at bat.
Does that count?
It's a fact.
It's not like
None of
last
this
night.
counts.
It's not like last night's game where the Phillies were playing the Baltimore Orioles here at Citizens Bank
Yeah.
Park, and they played. It was 4-1 Orioles through 9 innings.
Through 9, so
and
the
then
game's over.
The game wasn't over.
What do you mean?
The manager said, "Hey, let's start another inning." So
What?
they start the 10th. Phillies were losing 4-1. The Orioles come back up, already leading 4-1 in the top of the 10th inning.
Right.
And they get another run off a Phillies pitcher out of the bullpen. It's 5-1. Bottom of the 10th. Let's go home, everybody. Goodbye.
The Phillies just said, "Nah, we're
because
done."
the actual official scorecard of that game was 4-1. So anything after the 9th inning didn't count. So
Okay.
all these guys going up and hitting home runs and getting base hits in the 10th inning for the Orioles didn't matter.
Well, why wouldn't the Phillies want their last at bat?
Because I think the Orioles wanted to get more guys in, so they agreed beforehand. The
Oh,
managers
okay.
agreed. All right, we want to get guys some innings.
Get 'em
'cause
some
we got,
work.
We got a million pitchers in the bullpen. We got to start figuring out in short order who are going to, who's going to be on our roster.
So the Phillies bullpen is in mid-season form
exactly
is
right.
really the bottom line of
Exactly
the
right.
story.
Exactly. There are guys who are pitching in the 10th inning who will be delivering foodstuffs to Walmart next week. So you got to get these guys some action. You know what I mean? Huh?
Well, the Phillies.
Yes, Robin.
Morosi had a 2-parter.
Oh,
so
he
the
did?
second part, I believe, mentioned.
Oh, here's the NL
Yeah.
East.
Let's
Okay.
go to the NL East. We have time? We got time. Let's get John Morosi back in here.
Okay.
John, your thoughts on the NL East now, my friend?
The National League East is the hardest division in all of baseball to project. We have seen 3 different teams combine to win the last 5 division titles. So naturally, my choice to finish first is a team that last made the playoffs in 2011. Yes, the Philadelphia Phillies will win the National League East in Joe Girardi's first season as the manager in Philadelphia. I look for a huge season from Bryce Harper, bit of a new batting stance and approach for Bryce in year 2 with the Phillies. I look for him to be the MVP of the National League in 2020. I love the lineup depth overall with Philadelphia. You think about where Gregorius and Segura hit, Bruce as the DH, McCutchen for a full season. Love the Phillies. Second place, the New York Mets. I think Marcus Stroman helps to offset the absence of Noah Syndergaard. I believe the Nationals, who finished third, will miss Anthony Rendon. The Braves, same thing without Nick Markakis. And the Marlins, finishing fifth, but showing a lot of improvement there in Miami.
Wow.
How about that? Now, of course,
MVP.
Couch guy
he's
already.
He is pissed off.
Listen,
when he heard Mets second, his head just exploded.
Yeah, that guy's a clown. There's no way that happens. There's absolutely no way.
The Twitch stream is referring to him as couch fraud now.
Wow.
How about that?
Not Couchy, like Dr. Fauci, who some people are calling him fraud now. He is Dr. Couchy right now. He is Dr. The Couch Guy. Homer for the New York teams.
Wow.
It's an absolute outrage. How do we even allow him into this building, Harry? Into my building. You're in my building now. You know what happens.
You come into our house, you should get your behind kicked.
Exactly right, man. Much more still ahead. A man who's walking, Harry. He's walking every single day. And he's looking kind of ragged. Like
getting his steps in.
Like a battered performer that he is. But he's doing something good for a change. And that's staying off the radio first and foremost. Now, we'll bust his chops and we'll tell you what he's up to. The great Howard Eskin's going to join us in the next hour. Live from somewhere out in Delaware County. So stick around for that. And then some NBA talk later on.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, but I was forced into it against my will.
Did Rothstein pay you for this segment?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No, so I gotta rip the Major League Baseball exhibition summer camps because the Phillies busted my parlay last night. So I threw a little parlay in.
How did they bust it? They lost 4-1.
No, well, because they had a little sprinkle. Yeah, but that's the thing.
Is that your
so
computer again?
you can
that's
you get no run line. It's just money lines. So the Phillies ended up losing, so they busted it. So later in the second game, I take the Dodgers to beat the Diamondbacks, and I put like 20 on that. They were heavy favorites, whatever. But in the first inning, so the Dodgers, they obviously the Diamondbacks bat first. It was in L.A., so they go. For the first guy grounds out, second guy Ketel Marte hits a home run to right, and so top of the first ends 1-0 D-backs. Well, Cody the next guy, the Diamondbacks pitcher, they come up in the bottom of the first. They load the bases and nobody out. Bellinger comes up and ropes the ball into the right field seats. And then they go, all right, 25 pitches, switch sides. So they didn't record an out in the bottom of the first. So it's like the Dodgers just stopped batting. And they guess the Diamondbacks wanted to get a new guy in, but they just flipped sides. So it's like if that game comes and ends 5-4, it's like the Dodgers never finished their inning.
How are you even allowed to bet a game?
Yeah, why would you bet on games where you're throwing pitchers out there for a couple of batters?
It was only a few shekels. But again, just the fact that they could just do that's not baseball.
Bogus.
Yeah, it was.
It is bogus. Get Couch Fraud some tissue for his issues. Wow, that's Cujo knows, man. You don't mess with him. He's got 22,000 Twitter followers. I did not know that.
I know.
You guys keep messing with my boy Cujo. You never hear me rip him.
I saw that today, 22,000.
I know.
He's got more followers than Twitter, Harry, Rothstein, Couch Guy.
Combined.
And Joe C. combined.
What's
and
that?
me.
I said you.
I got 43,000 or something.
You have 43,000?
Yeah, 42,000.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I had you blocked. No, I'm just kidding.
I saw you were up to 64.4 today, Tony.
I know. My Twitter feed's blowing up, man. You guys keep doubting me.
He's going up even though he's being throttled, which is amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm defying the curve. I've broken the curve.
He's getting over his Peyronie's disease. on Twitter. Any updates with the 301 handicap parking ticket? Yes, it's being. We're fighting it. We have a photograph evidence. We're good.
Oh wow.
I photoshopped that Portland photo with you. I sent it to.
No, the one with the chicks in the street. How did you do it, man?
Where did you send it to? On text?
Did you see what somebody did with this video? Remember Kamala Harris when she came in?
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Oh my, it is just so funny. Looking at Twitter, so many fake accounts, so many things, and especially the names of a lot of these fake accounts where they don't put pictures. This is my new favorite one, Harry. Ina Garten's love slave. Now that's, Ina Garten.
That's the barefoot contessa.
Exactly
yes,
right.
Yes.
I didn't know she had a love slave.
I didn't either.
But apparently she does. But I don't even think it's a she. It's a dude with a cat photo. And again, I don't know if it's a she or
Whoever
a he.
it is very well fed.
Absolutely right.
They're not getting just,
I know, and I
bread
don't
and
have
water.
that drop anymore because I don't have my other. Josie, I got to get my other machine hooked up, man. I need you know how they have the organist? He's
going to be like Rick Wakeman and just have racks and racks of playback machines over there.
You play the. You play, what do you call it? What's wrong with me today? When you recorded the strapper line thing.
Oh, yeah.
Keyboard. You were a keyboard
Casio.
artist.
You had a Casio.
Do you have multiple layers? When you see the organist and they have multiple layers and they hit a button up on the top? Because I never played piano or organ. When you got an organ, the big pipe organs, they got like 16 layers of different things. All I need is a second machine so that I can enhance the audio portion of this program.
That's exactly what you need.
Yeah, more buttons to push.
Well, no, but I have all the Harry, the get outs, and I got a lot of things missing.
Yeah, no, you do.
I don't have the get out and what's the other Harry Mays one? I am pissed off in there.
Yeah.
I don't have if we're going to get drunk, let us at least get drunk and die. If we're going to die, let us die drunk at least. I got so many of the other classic tunes in there that I can't play.
It's an outrage.
Jesus. This is
If we're going to die, let us die drunk,
at least.
I did pick that one up.
I even have Ina Garten talking about when she's pouring in, just add a cup of vodka, and she's pouring the whole bottle of vodka.
Yeah, Grey
good
Goose.
Vodka.
Yeah.
Make sure it's good vodka, and she's pouring it in there. I got the only drinking drop I have right now is this one.
You don't even have your Three Stooges?
I don't have the Three Stooges drinking. I don't have, as you mentioned, Ina Garten pouring the vodka, 1 cup of vodka, 2 cups of vodka. These are the classics, Harry. These are
Feed us drinks! Get us laid! Ow!
Exactly. And the ballparks, you hear the guys with the sound effects are warming up too. I got to give up love to the people doing the sounds at the sporting. I didn't think I would like it, but I'm watching soccer and it sounds.
Yeah.
I'm watching MLS on Saturday night. Sounds good.
I've actually watched quite a bit of this MLS. It's good soccer.
It really
I got to
is.
own up
It
to them.
really
They're
is.
doing a great job.
I was watching Chelsea, and how about the goaltender from Manchester United, man? That guy was awful yesterday.
I didn't see that game.
Gave up 3 hard. One of them was tough. The other 2 were just absolutely horrific.
Soft goals, as they say.
You want to talk about soft. They were about to run him out of there. So Manchester United, Harry, goaltending issues. But so it's going to be, I know you follow this, Arsenal and Chelsea in the final, Harry.
Oh, yeah, good.
Who do you like?
Chelsea.
No, not Chelsea Handler or Chelsea Clinton.
No, did you see Chelsea Handler over the weekend? Put out an Instagram photo of telling people to mask up, and she had a mask on, of course, and then she's topless with 1 mask over each boob stretched around as a bra. Actually looked pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, after a couple of cocktails.
Oh, yeah, well, she's a big cocktail.
Well, I know
too,
she
yeah.
does. Speaking of 1 cup of vodka, 2 cups of vodka.
She and I'd go through a half-gallon of Tito's in about 2 hours.
By the way, we're tapped out of Tito's
I know,
now.
I saw that.
We had a whole case here not that long ago, and suddenly, within a month, the whole case of Tito's just vanishes into thin air.
Now you sound like my wife about every 10 days. What happened to all the vodka?
Now, we do have other vodkas, all right.
Can I just say, I looked up Chelsea Handler, and you know how you can go to Google Images, thinking that I would have to weed through a couple of the ones to find the one that you were talking about.
Right.
pretty much every single picture that she has up there is of her topless.
Yeah,
this is not unusual.
No, I didn't say it was unusual.
Who was
it? Saying it was new.
Who was it that said, let them puppies breathe, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know who said that. But
I mean, this is her thing.
Yes.
It's all right.
That's good.
Right
there it is.
National Nude Day.
I will not
And
be
she just
posting
kept it going, just like I do. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I never was in the ocean and had somebody urinate on me from the side of a boat like she did. But, hey, different strokes. Whatever floats your boat, Harry.
I missed
you know
that. What happened? When did that happen?
It was an actor, right? That's one of the all-time classic scenes.
Yes.
So she's out on a boat with, I forget who the actor is. And she's swimming, and she's holding on to the side of the boat. She's out swimming in beautiful water somewhere. It wasn't at the Jersey Shore. It's right there.
Oh, okay.
And who's the
Jason Biggs?
Yeah. From American Pie.
American Pie. Yeah.
And he is standing on the back of this boat on the transom. She's in the water, and he urinates on her.
But I think
I'm not making that up.
I don't know if it was totally on purpose at first. Like, he just had to pee.
Robin, when you're in the back of a boat, I peed off the back of boats many times.
And
I don't pee when somebody's right there.
Right.
But my point is, I think she swam into it on purpose.
Oh,
well, I don't know.
She's into that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was a little weird.
I don't even know.
Well, nothing would surprise me with Hollywood.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Cheslon says Fitty hit that. I'm sure. Listen, I don't care who she hits. I don't care who she sleeps with. I don't care if she's naked. But if the picture's there, that's why it's there.
Right, I want to look at it.
That's why God made social media, so we can see people getting naked, except that chick. Now, Ryan Rothstein did a Photoshop of me in the Portland protest. Or was that Seattle? It's hard to tell with those two cities. They're both out of control right now. So there's a naked chick sitting there, and he put the picture of me laying naked on the dockside balcony in the middle of the street, Harry.
Yes.
It doesn't match, though. You got to see. It's not a good Photoshop job, man. I love it.
It's kind of hard to do.
There's only so much to work with. It was just for us to kind of laugh at.
There's plenty of pictures.
The middle black part is kind of.
Actually, the better one would have been when he was tubing and just to take out all the background because his
I'm
legs are
laying
kind of
laying naked in a tube floating down the Delaware River. And the Delaware River water is as dirty as that street in Portland, so it probably would have been a better match, a color match.
Actually, it does look surprisingly similar to that, the color of the asphalt.
Exactly right. Anyway, we got a good hour. Howard Eskin is going to join us. And it's not my style to rip Howard, but Howard and I go way, way back. He is, without a doubt, Harry. You can say all you want about different radio hosts and stuff. He is the godfather of Philadelphia sports talk radio.
Wasn't he your board op way back in the day?
He wasn't just my board op. He was an engineer at WFIL,
Right.
so the engineers would play the music for the DJs, and then I had a little news booth. So when I would come in, I'd bring all my tapes of the actuality audio, and I was doing news. So he ran the DJs stuff, and it was all records and carts. And then all the other stuff was on carts, like the reports from all over the world. And so Howard and I go back to 1970.
Yeah, when you say carts, you mean those cartridges.
Yeah, that's what they used to do at radio stations.
Lay people have no idea what you're talking about.
They got to learn the radio business, Robin. You got to learn the radio business.
I was going to say they look like 8-track cartridges,
Yeah.
but there's a huge demographic that means nothing to.
I have a bunch of them in here. I'm going to put them in. I'm going to put a fake cart machine in here and pretend I'm like in an old radio studio.
And for those of you who are
I got
listening
crappy
who don't
old
know,
reel-to-reel
a
machine.
cart
I see that.
refers to cartridge.
Yes.
Rather than a cart on wheels.
Exactly. If I have to tell people, not Nintendo kart, no. Not all of those things. Not go-karts. Anyway, Howard's going to join us. Plus, we got an NHL situation. Now, I don't know if you saw this, Harry. So the NHL, as they get ready, they're going to put 5-second delays on their broadcast.
I
Did
saw
you see
that.
this?
I did see that on
You know why they
Awful
want to put a
Announcing.
5-second delay on the broadcast of the NHL restart in Toronto and Edmonton, Robin? Let me see if you can guess.
A 5-second delay?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're going to be able to hear the players now, and they don't want to be able to, if they're swearing on the ice.
Right, because there's no crowd noise, ambient noise in the building. Yeah.
Exactly. They're worried about hockey players cursing. We had guys on the golf course were cursing.
Of course.
But I get the guys, Rom and those guys yesterday. They had the mic there next to them on the fairways. I thought it was well done. I thought they did a good job.
Personally, I think that they should just add it. It's just an added bonus for all of us.
What, let the
watching at home.
profanities roll?
Just let it roll.
Exactly. Now, like last night, I was watching the Phillies game, as I mentioned, and they have the people separated but the bottom line is they're still touching the baseball. Baseball gets, now if it goes into the stands, they let it go.
Right.
But the ball gets hit to the outfielder, he catches it, he throws it back. They don't throw it around the diamond anymore. You're not allowed to do that. But they give the same ball back to the pitcher.
So even if a guy hits it, let's say he gets a single, It hits the ground. Right fielder gets it, throws it back in. They don't throw that ball out.
Not that I noticed last night. And again, this is early in the process, but guy on first base is standing right next to the runner.
Right.
They're not 6 feet apart, and they're not wearing masks. But the first base coach is wearing
They're not
a mask.
out there, are they?
Yeah,
the
the umpire is there wearing a mask, and the coaches all wear masks, and the managers in the lot. And so I'm watching this to see, because baseball is the first sport out there now. Obviously, soccer's been out there, the MLS. We haven't heard of any situations where, because they're playing every day. They're playing all day and all night.
I don't even think they had a positive test.
Yeah, but
they did early, but the problem is they get over it. But the big story, Harry, this is the biggest outrage of the weekend. Not my style to rip other sports, but at cricket, Harry, we have had our first violation of the COVID-19 regulations, not in baseball, not in soccer, but in British cricket. The umpires had to disinfect the ball after Dom Sibley admitted to accidentally using saliva on it. Teams get 2 warnings before a 5-run penalty is applied. So they're playing cricket. They got the cricket ball, and then the guy pitches it underhand. The game takes 2 weeks to finish. You thought Major League Baseball games were long.
Yankees-Red Sox games.
Exactly. It's like a Sunday night Yankees-Red Sox game on ESPN. That's how long a cricket match takes.
But this is going to happen in baseball. I mean, how many times do baseball players, they do all sorts of stuff without even thinking about it? It's sort of ingrained in them.
But that's kind of wimpy.
Nature.
That's kind of wimpy. You got to disinfect a ball in cricket?
He spit on it.
No, he accidentally got some saliva on it.
Now, you're saying accidentally?
Yeah.
I think that's intentional.
I think it's one of those, it's so ingrained. Like, I mean, how many, you go through a process. If you're a pitcher, you have your routine.
Yeah, you're licking your fingers.
No, but the pitchers have a wet rag in their back pocket. They're not allowed to go to their mouth.
But you know, if they're all concentrated in the game and they're in the zone, it's going to be this unconscious thing because they've done it a million times before.
What I'm saying is the first 2 games that I've watched in the baseball summer camp, they're calling it, they're using all the rules they're going to use. That's what they call it. Yeah. I'm not making up the names. I didn't make up MLS is back. I know they're back. They have to remind us that the MLS is back?
No, I have it right here from MLB.com, Tony. It says that any ball that's touched by more than 3 players will be discarded.
Okay, but here's the thing. Pitcher throws to the catcher. The
3
ball
strikes,
gets hit.
You're out.
The ball gets hit to the outfield. The guy in the outfield catches it. He throws it back. That ball is still in play.
Yeah, but if you have
you try to turn
short double play.
Right, that's different. But I'm saying you're right. But I said ball gets hit. But remember, the pitcher gets it from the umpire. Right, so the umpire's got the bag still on the side, the bag. He takes the ball out, gives it to the catcher. Catcher throws it to the pitcher.
Yeah.
Right? Then the pitcher pitches the ball.
Right there's
guy
3
hits
players.
Exactly.
Right there.
Guy hits it. So I'm saying, I'm sure, just like they were trying to pay attention to the clock on how long the pitchers had between. Remember, they had the pitch count clock. Not just the pitch count, but you have 30 seconds to deliver the ball or else they'll call a strike, or a ball against the pitcher. Nobody's going to be this closely watching this stuff. And again, there's only a couple games being played, but they're trying the right thing. The players are saying. But then in the dugout, the manager and the pitching coach are standing next to each other still, writing notes down. And so it's going to be difficult. Yeah. Luckily, if there's no positives, and these guys are all, and they're going home, remember. They're going. And the funniest thing, so the players, once they were done, for example, Scott Kingery, when he was done, he got dressed and was leaving the ballpark with a doggy bag from the Diamond Club.
Is that
because
right?
They're making food for the players in the Diamond Club because there's no food in the clubhouse. And then Lawrence McCutcheon, who had played in the game for the Phillies, you see him in the 9th inning walking across the field with another doggy bag. It was like a brown shopping bag, leaving to go home. So you had a spider on the field during the game on the camera lens, and you see the spider crawling up it during the broadcast. You have players leaving the game, going home with a doggy bag, and then you had an extra inning game where only the visiting team got to bat in the top of the 9th of a 4-1 game.
Jeez.
So trying to figure stuff
out.
Out. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And I was able to digest all that and put it out in one beautiful tweet last night, Harry. I'm working for you so you don't have to watch these games.
Now, do you think that they've hired spit spotters?
Yes, exactly. That's my biggest thing. How are these guys who've grown up your entire life chewing seeds, gum, how are you just going to eliminate that? I don't see how that's
I don't know. It's hard.
possible.
It's going to be very difficult, I think, because it is ingrained in the sort of the culture.
The DNA.
Yeah.
It's all right, man. They'll get over it. Especially on these hot days. You think spit's going to... Do you think the virus is going to spread on a field?
I don't know.
In a hot sun?
You got to ask Dr. Fauci.
As what do you call it? Said in How Bizarre? Who was the guy that did that song? How bizarre. How bizarre.
OMC.
OMC
Wow.
is right. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe C. OMG, Joe C. The man knows his tunes. Howard Eskin. He's walking, and he'll be talking and walking at the same time, but we'll be chewing gum. We'll find out last. Actually, a Zoom session as he walks live. We did it with Eitan playing golf. Right. Now we'll do it with Howard Eskin walking for charity. That's coming up next, so stick around on SiriusXM 211 and at twitch.tv, Tony Bruno Show.
Joey Bonocco, Belladonna doesn't spit.
I'm loving that Joey Bonocco guy. He is our our Colorado correspondent, man.
Yeah, and you did drop a Lawrence McCutcheon. I think you meant Andrew McCutcheon.
Lawrence McCutcheon was a running back for the Rams.
From Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yes. Lawrence McCutcheon. Andrew McCutcheon.
Hold on.
Who's calling you now, Robin? Oh.
Actually, he went to Colorado State, Lawrence McCutcheon.
Oh, I thought he went to.
No.
I thought he went to.
He played with the
I know
Rams,
he played with the Rams.
the
And who else?
Broncos and Seattle Seahawks.
That's right.
And then with the Bills. But he was big with the Rams.
Yeah,
He's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I remember him. Number 30, I think he was. Is that his number? Yeah, 30.
There's no Chelsea Handler R. Kelly sex tape. That was Kim Kardashian and R. Kelly. Not R. Kelly. That was Ray J.
Ray J. Yeah.
Ray J was the Kim Kardashian sex tape.
Mm-hmm. I never saw it.
It was weak.
I heard it was bad.
Larson had the cop. I had a copy of it, and I let him borrow it, and he stole it. Never gave it back to me because I wanted the sound. There was one drop that I used to play all the time. It was like, I like it. It's when she was giving him oral sex, and she stops and she says, I like that. I'm not making it up.
No, it was worst porn ever.
Yeah, but the drop, you would play it on the show. Nobody knew where it was from unless they saw the movie.
Larson stole that?
That son of a bitch, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, that was Howard. He was trying to
Yeah, I was
log
thinking of
on.
Lawrence Phillips from Nebraska. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Lawrence Phillips. And he died, didn't he, in prison?
He played with the Rams, too.
Yeah, but he was the Nebraska guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he killed somebody.
Allegedly.
Okay, let's see if this is working.
Ooh, baby. Love that song, How Bizarre, How Bizarre.
Now, Tony, make sure that when anybody comes on, that you let them know that we're going to be coming out of the break, so that when the music starts, they need to stop talking.
Yes.
And that they are still live on Twitch even as we speak. Come on, Howard.
Yeah, did you notice with Schlereth, when he would start to talk, we couldn't pick it up until like,
it was
like
just
2 seconds into
momentary.
it.
I think that's because of his phone.
That's those damn iPhones, man. Oh, look, Bree Teresi, Harry. You follow her?
Who? I don't even know who it is.
I don't know who it is, but I like it. Look at that. Love that outfit. You see that? You can't see it.
No, I can't.
That is excellent right there. That is excellent. You can't see it, can you?
We love how all of our Twitch folks, you guys are doing. Miss Robin, I'd like to
She's
send
got
you a pic of the
305,000 followers.
Send it to Miss.
Look at that face.
Send
She
it to
looks
my
totally
Twitter,
natural.
Miss Robin Austin. Any photos and anything, just send it there, and then I can pull it up and show everybody on the show.
That bikini's not small enough for me, Harry.
All right, Mr. Man, Howard Eskin. Why are you not going on there?
I listen to, like, when I drive home, I'll get Howard sometimes hops on the Giglio show, too, and him and you rip LeBron in the exact same fashion.
Who, Howard?
Yeah, it cracks me up. It's like the same exact thing.
Oh, he's still not in there.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
It is the Monday extravaganza here. 20th of July. You know what this date has as far as significance? Probably one of the most significant dates in American history.
Yes. Wasn't it Apollo 11?
On this date, yes, exactly.
Landing on the moon.
51 years ago today, Neil Armstrong stepped off the Apollo 11 lunar lander, landing the first man to ever put his foot on the moon that we know of. There could have been other people there, but no other human, as far as we know.
Wow.
One small step for mankind. Many long steps for Howard Eskin.
I was 4 years old.
No, you weren't. Were you really?
Yeah.
You were 4? How old? Robin, how old were you in 1969 when the lunar landing occurred?
69. I wasn't even a year old yet.
You know how old I was in 1969? Let's see. 17. So I remember it vividly.
Yeah, I don't.
I hate to do it to
Wish
you
I
guys.
did, but I don't.
I hate
Well,
to do it
it
to you
seems that
guys.
Howard is having issues with.
Well, we got Eitan Shander playing golf
At Huntington
holding
Valley.
a phone, Huntington Valley.
Yeah.
And he was holding the golf club. He was taking shots all by himself. Howard's got a whole group of media people following him, residents. He's got minions. He's got LeBron James fans following him around everywhere he goes. He's got the mayor of Philadelphia, Jim Kenney, out there making sure he's okay and hydrated. Howard and I have one thing in common: our disdain for the mayor of Philadelphia, even though Howard doesn't live in Philly.
He doesn't live in Philly, but yeah.
And LeBron James, not the biggest fans. Again, great player.
Yeah.
But I will not respect LeBron James. I'll do like the L.A. Teachers Union. I will not acknowledge LeBron James until he denounces China. It's like, until they defund the police and until they do this, I will not go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I will not acknowledge LeBron James' presence on the planet unless he apologizes.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching him in about 10 days, with Rothstein, Thursday night. Next Thursday, not this Thursday. Clippers-Lakers, Tom. Where will you be?
I think we need to watch it, all of us.
A group watch?
And just stream Tony freaking out at the TV at LeBron James and the NBA. That would be
what
gold.
will you be watching on Thursday night, a week from this Thursday, around 8 o'clock? It's not going to be hockey.
There's a Lighthouse special on next Thursday.
I hear, yes.
That's a foghorn. That's for an actual lighthouse,
Haunted
not a
lighthouses of the U.S. Is that what it is?
I heard Nat Geo's doing a great lighthouses of the United States and especially of the Great Lakes. When you got Great Lake lighthouses on there, say that fast 5 times.
24 hours commercial-free lighthouse.
Exactly, man. Wow. Now, what's going on with Howard Eskin, Robin? I need an update.
He's having issues, so he's not able to connect. So he's going to call in instead. So we'll get him in.
Yeah, but the visual of Howard right now is outstanding.
I want to see the gigantic Grizzly Adams beard. I want to see
sweat
him sweating.
dripping off of
I
it.
want to see people mocking and ridiculing and catcalling him as he get. So let me explain first of all before we get Howard on. So he decided, and this is a great gesture for charity,
right?
For Phil Abundance, which is a great organization here in Philly that puts food together collects food from all different restaurants and places that deliver food and then distributes it to the people who need food, the homeless.
Right.
And Howard's on the line with us now. Yet a man who carries 16 cell phones, pagers,
right,
cameras, everything.
BlackBerry, I think he still has.
He still has one. He still has one of those Palm Pilots attached to his belt. Yet he can't get a damn live stream from media. When Eitan Shander was playing golf at Huntington Valley, we saw the whole thing live for 20 minutes. What the hell's going on out there, Howard?
Well, I try to hook up to this stinking Zoom, but between the ID meeting, the meeting code, and I think it's the passcode that doesn't work. What's an upside-down question mark on the passcode? What the hell is that?
Who do I look like, Dr. Fauci? Oh, even he doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, he doesn't do all that stuff. I mean, what the hell is going on? Normally with a Zoom, you can just go right into the Zoom.
Yeah.
And I can copy the passcode and just put it in, but I can't copy it here. I'm just trying to copy the passcode the whole darn
Maybe
thing.
it's that damn beard and those big glasses, man. You look like Grizzly Adams. Where's this fur coat? If you're going to want to walk out there for over 1,000 miles, don't you want to lose like 15 pounds wearing that fur coat like you do on the Eagles sidelines?
I've lost over 20 walking since this damn thing started. So I've lost over 20 pounds. I don't want to hear you whining about losing weight, gaining weight. You do it the right way, and you're ugly anyway. You can't put earrings on a pig and make it look any different. Earrings on a pig, it's like lipstick on a pig. It's the same. It's still a pig. All right. So that's you trying to lose weight. It's like putting earrings on a pig and lipstick on a pig. You choose which one you want.
Are you wearing a Rolex or a Fitbit? What are you wearing out there, Harry? I know you want to look good when you're walking throughout the Delaware County area.
Well, I'm wearing a Fitbit to keep my steps. Yesterday, I did my all-time high of over 35,000 steps. That's over 16 miles.
Wow.
Yesterday. I'm averaging 14 to 15 miles a day, and my stinking son.
Which one? That Spike guy?
The guy that's the program director at WIP.
Did he do an emergency pod when you talked about the NBA on one of these walks on another media hit?
He may have, but he won't give me credit for all my miles.
Why?
So then I got to average 14 because he won't. I mean, I know how many miles. I'm doing 100 miles a week. But he won't give me any more than 350 miles since the pandemic started. And I got to walk 1,103 miles to Tampa from Philadelphia. So now I got to average over 14 miles a day. He's killing me.
That's an outrage. I mean, how you have a Fitbit? It tracks your miles. What's your son doing? I mean, this isn't analytics. Is he using Sam Hinkie to calculate your miles for you?
Sam who? It's a joke. It is an outrage. It's an outrage.
It's an outrage.
Yes.
It is an outrage. But I'd like to, I tried to get like hell. I tried to get on Zoom because I have not trimmed my beard. I'm sure you have pictures of it. You can.
Yeah, we
post.
got you on. We got your picture up there right now. How long has it been? Because you normally have a beard, but it's it's nice and
I trim it. Yeah, I trim it all the time. I keep it kind of tight. But once this thing started, I said, let me go. I'm never going to do this again in my life. The problem is I got to get a haircut. I haven't gotten a haircut. And unlike you, I actually grow hair. So that's the difference. And my hair does grow long. I'm going to get a haircut in the next couple of weeks, but I'm not trimming the beard. Jason Kelsey of the Eagles gave me a tip when I told him what I was doing. He says, you got to trim the mustache because it gets in the way of the food. And it was a good tip. So I'm doing that, and I sent him a picture that he hadn't seen me in a while. I texted him a picture. He said, holy bleep.
That's what I said when I first saw it. I saw it. I was like, I couldn't believe it because I heard about it. I said, we got to get Howard on because this is a great cause. So explain. I thought you were literally walking to Clearwater.
Howard, just so that you know, we have the photo, a screenshot of you. I think it was a fan that saw you out walking that was taking video. Yeah, so I have the screenshot of you with your rose-colored glasses and the full beard.
By the way, on the glasses, there's an inscription that says the king. So just to make sure that you guys have the full understanding.
Now, where did you get those? Did LeBron send those to you? Where did you get those glasses out?
No, actually, they're prescription sunglasses, and Oakley makes them for me, and then they put the inscription in there.
Wow.
So it's a nice little deal. But the kid, I'm walking this morning, and the kid, he's just working on a lawn. All of a sudden, he sees me. I'm walking all over the neighborhood, and then there's a park near my home. So I walk around the park. There's one stretch of road where the drivers are just insane, which I've got to walk on the road. 35-mile speed limit, and they're probably doing 60. When I did a video the other day to explain what I'm doing, some guy was probably 4 inches away from me. Like, what the hell is he doing? And they speed up. And then when I tell them to slow down, they flip me the middle finger.
Wait, are you new to this city? How long have you been here, Howard?
Yeah, but this is outside the city. They actually mow this. There's a bunch of soccer fields in this park. They actually mow it 2 and 3 times a week. They trim the trees. It's not like Philadelphia, where you need the homeless to trim the trees because otherwise they won't get trimmed.
Exactly.
But you got to. There's no sidewalk on the road there. But,
Wait, so why did you
I'm
do it
doing-
out? Let me ask you that, because you're doing a great thing. It's called Howard's Walking to Tampa.
Yeah.
And you're
Right.
doing it for the SPCA, Brandywine Valley SPCA, and Phil Abundance, which is a great organization that collects food to distribute to the homeless and people who need food. And Robin has more information.
Right,
on
and
it.
if anybody wants to donate to the cause, it's 94wip.com/Howard. Very
Exactly.
simple.
So who came up with this idea, and why aren't you physically walking to Tampa? This walking around the same neighborhood, that's like driving on the Jersey Turnpike up and back to New York every day. It's boring, man.
Suppose I get run over, people just leave me on the side of the road.
That happens, man.
I could be in Virginia or South Carolina, and they're just going to say, "Oh, just roadkill." It's just the problem. If I'm walking on the side of the road, usually for an animal, there's skid marks. For me, there won't be any.
You're damn right. Now, do you have like a van following you with water and grapes and big palm leaves?
What do you think this is, the Tour de France?
Exactly, yeah. Don't you have like an entourage, a posse? Don't you have like a vehicle that has cold water? People when you walk by, they run out and bring you water and spray it on you? Because it's hot out there. It's hot as hell out there, man.
It's 90-some degrees right now. It's just... But I drink probably over 2 quarts of whether it's seltzer, whether it's Gatorade with electrolytes in it, whether it's my emergency in my bottle. But my son came up with the idea, since I'm walking every day, what else is there? You keep your mind clear, and I still do the radio stuff from home. But, so Tampa's the site of this year's Super Bowl. So we figured from Lincoln Financial Field to Raymond James Stadium is 1,103 miles. But he didn't give me all the credit of my miles.
It says now you've walked 451. Is that accurate?
I walked more than 451, but that's all they're giving me credit for. I probably walked over 600. Easily over 600.
Now, this is a big discrepancy, Howard. 451 to 600, that's like 140 miles.
Well, he won't give me the credit. He won't give me the credit. So, okay, you're going to play that game? Here's what I did. He's trying to kill me. So I took him out of the will.
Yeah, I was just going to say, have you checked an insurance? Is there an additional insurance policy on you that opened up recently?
He's out of the will. He's done.
It's about damn time, man. As LeBron once said, it's about damn time when he won that championship.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, but here's on a serious note, and I know you can never be serious. None of you guys can be serious. And sometimes I can't be serious either. But you're right. It's for a good cause, 2 good causes, which is really nice to try to raise money, and people have already donated. But it's good for my health. My son, who was one out in California, does movies for Disney, and he was a marathon runner. Yeah, he's got problems with his knee now, his back. It's just, I was out there when he ran the LA Marathon. I thought he was dead when he came over. I don't know why these people run marathons, but he ran a lot of marathons. He did the thing in San Francisco where you swim from Alcatraz, then you run, and then you bike. So he did that. He's done all that, and he can't believe how many miles I'm doing a day, and he's a runner. Now, and my joints are all right. Everything's fine. I feel in really good health, and I wanted to lose maybe 6 or 7 pounds. I lost over 20 pounds. I eat properly. I'm exercising, keeping my head clear because, the world has really got some issues.
Why aren't you wearing a mask, Howard? Have you been mask shamed as you're walking up there in media by the people in Delta?
Well, I'm in this park right now, and there's not one person in the park. Normally, there's a few people may walk their dogs. Sometimes there's a runner. Sometimes there's kids on a bike, but it's very few people. And I don't wear a mask. I wear a mask all the time, but here I don't have to wear the mask because there's no people. And walking down the street, I wasn't wearing a mask, but I mentioned that when I saw the kid. I asked him to socially distance. He wanted to take a picture. He did all those things, and that's fine. But I do wear a mask anytime, and I don't go to that many stores. I have deliveries. But when I go someplace, I wear a mask. It's just, you have to wear a mask because it just, why not just do what'll help everybody? So don't get the wrong idea. I'll wear a mask when I'm around people.
Now, Howard,
But
you have
when
one
I'm
of those.
walking-
We have digital thermometer in here. We check everybody in our wine cellar studio here in South Philly, in the real city. You're out there in the suburbs ripping Jim Kenny. I'm in here down in the city ripping him every day. Harder than you could ever imagine.
Well, first of all, when he flip-flops, he's like a fish. You know about fishing. Tony, I think I went fishing with you one time. We went bluefish fishing a long time ago. So, and you see that fish flopping on the deck when you catch him? That's like Jim Kenny, who flops on the deck. Well, no fans. Yeah, well, then we'll think about it. Well, then there's no fans. Then what, the vaccine comes in 2 weeks, we'll think. You can't have, it's like if you have fans at a game, it's like an open bar, it's like a bar. And that's the one thing that America's obviously got a problem with, where people are infecting other people with the virus. It would be, just think about the tailgates at a football game. You got to just say, that's it. There's not going to be fans. Let's just enjoy sports. Stay safe. You're only going to go to a few games anyway.
Wait a minute. So the rest of the NFL teams already announced their plans to put like 15,000 in Baltimore, Jacksonville.
Not in Jersey, though, either. Because Murphy just said no fans for the Jets and the Giants.
So that's the case. All right. So,
Yeah.
What my point was, if Philadelphia was the only city in the NFL that wasn't allowing fans, would not the mayor of this city look like the biggest putz in the history of the city and the history of this country?
Well, the guy's one of the worst mayors in the history of Philadelphia. However, that's a hypothetical because that would never be the case. You really can't have fans in Florida, and there's 2 teams there. You can't have fans in Texas, although Jerry Jones, who, from what I understand, is a major contributor to the governor. That's why the governor said it would be all right. And then when he opened everything up, they became one of the worst states in America. So there's 2 there. There's 1 in Arizona, and there's 3 in California, right? 2 in California, is 1 in Las Vegas. So you've got to assume that those stadiums cannot have fans.
So you're saying, wait a minute, wait, stop right there, Howard. Howard Eskin joining us. So there should be no fans at NFL games this fall.
If the commissioner, and I like the guy, and I know some people have some issues with Roger Goodell.
I don't like him at all.
The guy.
I don't like him.
Well, I like the guy. But
I don't like him.
To do the right thing, and when things started and you couldn't have people in certain buildings, nobody could have gone in because he doesn't want a competitive advantage. So in this case, I don't care if it's 1, if it's 2, or it's 6. If certain teams can't have fans, then nobody should have fans. That's just the way it should be because that's a competitive advantage. And there's 3 reasons that they're playing sports right now. It's money, and it's money. Those are the reasons. But just play the games. You're going to get them on TV. We're trying to get on the downside of this, and having fans at games will not help, regardless of where they are. And the reason I think Murphy, the governor of New York, who people killed, but imagine New York, which the worst state in the country, is now the best.
No, it's not, Howard. They still have had more deaths than multiple states put together. Come on,
man.
That
was at the beginning. Look at the last 6 weeks. But the governor said no fans in the state of New York. So the New Jersey governor had to go along. Think about all the fans that would come out of the Jets, the Jets and the Giants game and go back into New York. You can't go there and then come back in the city. So that's why he had to do that too.
I hate to rip you, Howard. It's not my style to rip you, man, but I got to rip you with that. By the way, I have breaking news. You're going to love this one.
Yeah, Dr.
This is
Fauci.
just in, ladies and gentlemen, a statement from the Washington Nationals regarding opening day. I know you don't have it. I know it's hard for you to run and have your 6 cell phones out at the same time, Howard, since you can't even do a damn Zoom session while you're running, or even, well, you're not even running, you're walking. This is a statement. The Washington Nationals are thrilled to announce that Nats superfan Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, has accepted our invitation to throw out the ceremonial first pitch on opening day, Thursday, July 23rd. So let me get this right. The guy who's telling everybody you can't go to school, you got to stay inside, and don't touch anything, wear a mask. If you touch your face, go ahead, cut your face off, cut your hands off. He's going to take a baseball in a ballpark, get his stinking germs on him, and throw out the first pitch. And that's okay.
What you just said is an outrage. An outrage because you don't think it's right. He's one guy. He will socially distance. I am sure. He will throw out the first pitch with a mask. He won't be around people. There's not fans in there. Tony, you just want. I like the guy.
I'm Italian, and I'm supposed to like. See, I'm one of those guys. I don't have to like a guy because he's Italian and I'm Italian. Like Cuomo, he's a greaseball. His brother's a greaseball. Fauci's a greaseball. I don't care. I'll call a greaseball if I have to.
Yeah, that's what you are, is a greaseball, but not those guys. You can't. That's Italian on Italian crime. That's no good.
His brother's Fredo.
Yeah,
by the way.
His
I
brother
think
is
there's a
Fredo.
word for that.
His brother's a fraud and he's a phony, and I should knock his ass back in the basement where he came from.
Hey, Tony, you must be somewhere in that family. I remember the picture in the Daily News, and we're digressing quite a bit, where Angelo Bruno was shot in the middle of the head at a restaurant.
No, he was outside of his house 2 blocks away from here, Howard. 13th
Is that right?
and Snyder, yes.
Okay.
11th and Snyder,
Tony,
I'm sorry.
You better be careful. If anybody ever gives you a big meal, I'm going back into my Soprano days. Anybody gets fed a big meal, you got to worry about what the hell's going on. Are they going to whack me after I'm done this meal?
No, every time Robin moved back to Philly with me in 2011, I would take her into notorious restaurants, and I would say, Robin, I got to sit facing the front door. Remember,
Right.
Robin? I took her in the places where mob guys have been wiped out, the Great Italian, Ralph's, all these great Italian spots.
Felicia's.
And I went there and I said, Robin, make sure I get a table so I can see the front door and who's coming in at any time.
You know what? You need it, Tony. But some of the things that you say, you need it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the problem. We all want sports, but I want people to be safe. I want the football season to go through the season. And I know there's some issues right now with the players. I don't know what's going to happen there. And I understand what's it, Sean McVay, that he doesn't know what's going to happen. John Harbaugh, and I like John. I've known John for years. For him, and he's absolutely right in complaining about the protocol and how we're going to socially distance. We're a football team. We're going to have guys 6 feet apart when we do a huddle, guys shower one at a time. Yet, he's part of a team that says they're going to have 15,000 fans in there. That's a contradiction. I know.
How you become soft, man. No wonder why your son doesn't even trust you anymore. He trusts the damn process, but he doesn't trust you because you're soft, and now all of a sudden Mr. Tough Guy Howard Eskin is now a softy wimp and doesn't want fans and doesn't want sports. He just wants to be able to walk around every day in the park and have people recognize him.
No, there's nobody here to recognize me. So I'm missing on that. You know what? I'm not like you. I don't walk around with a mirror and say, hey, you're Howard Eskin. No, I don't do that. You would do that. Hey, I'm Tony Bruno.
I don't have to. Everybody knows who I am, Howard. You've been with me in Super Bowls. Everybody knows who I am. And you know it, and I know it.
I didn't know it when I was spinning records. I said, who is this little punk doing the news? That's what you were back then. You were a little punk just doing news. The disc jockeys were the stars. You just thought you were one.
No, I wasn't. I was a news guy. That's why I'm a journalist today, and I can call you out for your fake news and all your bad information on science, on your bad information on fans in the stands, and all the other fake news that you just spewed here. By the way, are you walking as you're talking, or do you have to stop because you can't catch your breath when you're doing a conversation on a radio show?
Unlike you, Tony, I can multitask. So I am walking while I'm talking.
He's got you there.
Yeah, he does.
He's got you there, Tom.
Now, Howard, I have a question for you. Since you do go way back, do you go back far enough where Tony was back in the day when he was wearing Cuban heels?
Yes. How about this Italian guy? And you know what? Here's the other thing he had. All the Italians, and I love Italians because I know a lot of them, so don't take this the wrong way.
Oh, some of my best friends are Jewish too, Howard. That's what you're going to say? Listen, I'm Italian, but a lot of my best friends, we got Ryan Rothstein. He's Jewish. I allow him in my house.
Okay.
Amazing.
All the Italian
Even
guys
on Fridays when it's the Seder.
Shabbat.
At Shabbat, I let him in here.
Tony wanted to be accepted so much, the Italian guys wear a pinky ring. Tony wore 2 of them, just to make sure that he was a double Italian. So, back in the day, he had the Cuban shoes, the 2 pinky rings. He didn't fit in with all the other people there, but he tried. I got to give him credit. He did try. And as far as science, as far as doing things, Tony, like everybody else, we all want to see guys like you, me, Rob, everybody there.
How about Harry? How about Harry Mays?
Well, I was going to mention Harry too, but I was waiting for you to jump in and give you something to say. And Harry too. To all be safe. We can watch the games, but we don't have to be. Do you think people are going to wear masks during the games? And here's the other thing with a football game. If you open the game for whether it's 15 or 20,000 people, think about the parking lots and the tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 40,000
But that's not going to happen. You
people.
can't have tailgates. You have the game. You have people sitting socially distanced in the stadium. You don't have the bars open, and you have the people bring the drinks around like they do all the time. Nobody goes up and stands in a stinking line anymore.
Do you really think the concession people, if there's people in there, are not going to open the concessions? They've lost money too.
Yeah, but no, you have it brought down to you. You had the people come down. Hey, cold beer here, and then you buy it that way, and then it passed down from 15 people. Pass it down. And that's the way we used to go. We used to go to the games. Why is everybody softer now? 25 years ago, it was okay for somebody to bring you a beer in the stands. Now all of a sudden, you got to go up and have it taken care of and go in and take a bag home like the players did, like they did last night.
Well, I think we know why.
Well, yeah, well, now it's different. But the baseball game, they usually came down. But you shouldn't. First of all, the parking lots are the biggest problem. Just imagine, once you open it, there's a lot of people that don't go to the games anyway. They sit in the parking lot. They all gather together. They watch the games on a satellite dish. They all congregate. It's a huge bar in the parking lot, and that is not a good thing.
As long as they keep Mike Scott out of there, everybody's safe. All right?
Mike Scott is a dope. He's a dope. He is a full-fledged 100% dope. People, you know what? People in America don't even know who the hell Mike Scott is. He's a stiff as a basketball player, and the Sixers are lucky enough to have him on their team.
You know, Howard, you and I need to do an NBA podcast every week.
That would be great.
Forget about all these other process podcasts.
Yeah.
You tell your son, you and I once a week are going to do a separate NBA bash session podcast. And we will take this league down, and they'll be working in China. The league will move to the entire NBA will be playing in China and will never, ever be in the United States ever again.
The process was a failure. It was always a Ponzi scheme with a bunch of ping pong balls, and the people thought, oh, that's great. Ping pong, we're going to get more ping pong balls. Give me a break. That was such a fraud. That Scam Hinkie was such a fraud, but he's gone. So now, if they ever win, it's Hinkie. If they don't win, everybody else screwed it up.
Exactly.
And it normally doesn't work, but the process is a joke. It's a joke.
I don't know how you can even look at your son and have a conversation anymore. I don't know how you and Spike can actually sit down and talk, Howard.
We don't talk about the Sixers. We do not. That is never. We never speak about the Sixers. And let it be known that when he was a kid, one of his favorite players was John Starks of the Knicks.
Oh, that's a violation right there. He's like our couch guy here.
Yeah.
He's a Jets fan. He's a Yankee fan. He's a what other fan? What other teams?
Jets, Yankees. I like the Sixers, but I can't really stand to watch the NBA anymore, so I'm out.
See, he understands. He's getting it. All right, Howard, we got to run here. I got bills to pay.
We're
here.
up against it.
We're up against it, as they say.
I'll say this. If you actually did run, you would lose some damn weight. So get your ass out of that seat and go out and do a show as you're running. I want to see if you can multitask. I bet you Harry can do it. I bet you Robin can do it, but I bet you can't do it.
That's crap, Howard.
Running no more, but walking absolutely.
Definitely.
I could walk 100 miles a day, Howard. Trust me right now. You're doing this wimpy 13 miles a day, man. Anybody can do that.
20,000 steps on the golf course on Saturday.
Exactly right.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a Fitbit, Harry, and I'll bet you that you don't do 20,000 steps on a golf course.
I have one, and I'll show it to you. I'll show you the phone app right here, Tony.
This is getting ugly, ladies and gentlemen. This has evolved from a science segment to a walking charity segment into an absolute. It's an absolute free for all here. It's worse than the WWE. What was that thing the wrestling had on us? Right there, 21,434 steps on Saturday, July 18th. Howard.
Oh yeah.
9.81 miles.
Hey, listen, anybody wants to donate, 94wip.com/Howard. And Tony, I want to see your ass donate too.
I'll give you $10. How about that right now? What do I get for $10? What do I get for Hey, Howard,
You get 100 steps for $10. How's that?
I'm going to come out there one day, and I'm going to track your ass down, pal.
Yeah, I tell you better bring some friends. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have any.
All right, be careful out there. Thanks for coming on, man.
See you guys
There
later.
it is. All right. All right, we'll come right back. I don't know what to say after that.
Wow. The gloves are off, right? Woo! That was awesome.
12,832 yesterday, 21,434 on Saturday.
You can tell that your history of going back and forth with Howard goes way back.
How long ago was 1970? How many years ago was that?
Yeah.
50 years? That's right. I made negative income last year.
I was just I pulled up the picture of Angelo Bruno before he died. I mean, your nose and his nose awfully look.
No, it's not.
It's not that big. But he's older here. You know, your nose and your ears grow.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Your nose and your ears grow your entire life.
Trust me, if I was related to Angelo Bruno, do you think I'd be schlepping, working overnight for 7 years on radio, working an overnight shift for 7 years before I got to see the light of day?
I'm just saying.
Now, that's right there. I showed you where his daughter was living in the house at 11th and,
I know.
and she just sold the house. 11th and Snyder, that house right there on the corner.
This is going to be like a 3.5-minute segment here.
That's okay. We had to do that.
No, that was great. Yeah, I didn't want to stop it.
Anytime you can rip Spy, have your dad, father-son rip session, too.
I know. Well, and obviously he's heavier than you are.
Robin, he wasn't a heavy guy.
You are skinnier than Angelo Bruno.
Well, of course he's skinny now. He's dead.
Where did I go? Oh, this one. Yeah, that's it right there.
That's the house. His daughter just sold. There's a 7-Eleven right there. There's a little gap, and then there's 7-Eleven right at 11th and Snyder. You see where that parking lot is? That's where he lived. That's where he was he was shot dead right in front of that house.
Like where this gold car is?
Mm-hmm. That's, the other mobsters.
I don't think that they
these mob guys
did they ever catch him?
No, of course not, because the mob it's all about, you're messing with my turf. It's just like the black on black gang crimes now. You mess in somebody's turf, they come out and kill you. It's the mobs are all the same, whether they're black, Irish, Italian, Jewish. It's all like, I control the streets, I control the drugs.
Why does it look like there's a shop there?
That's where the 7-Eleven is. Back then it wasn't a 7-Eleven.
Oh, okay. So he was in the passenger seat.
Now, what was that? I think that was you know what that was? It was a Wells Fargo bank.
It says Meat-O-Rama.
Oh, so it was a butcher shop. Okay. Just 10 seconds. Because you can see that dance studio is right on the corner. That wasn't a dance studio then.
Meat-O-Rama.
Meat-O-Rama, yeah.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Lots of reaction, Harry, to the Howard Eskin segment. You can tell it almost if we were together, it would have come to blows. We'd have had to been separated down here. And then Harry got into the mix, too, and it looked like Harry and Howard were about to go at it. Speaking of WWE, Robin actually thought that the video of the eye for an eye match was real.
Rey Mysterio?
Yes.
Yes.
So all I see I'm watching
and
baseball.
Seth Rollins.
I'm watching. I'm on the internet, and I see people tweeting about WWE. What was that thing called last night?
An eye for an eye match.
No, the whole match itself
I don't know.
was called.
I don't know.
What was it called?
Yeah.
The match was an eye for an eye match.
Oh, their match.
No,
their
actual event.
Their match was the eye for an eye match in some event. I don't know what the event was called.
Everybody was watching. Well, not everybody was watching it, but
it was called the Horror Show Live.
Yeah,
was the event.
Is that what it was called?
Show.
Not the horror show. The horror show.
Horror show.
Horror.
Not horror.
Show.
Horror show.
Yeah, it was.
It was WWE Extreme Rules. That's what it was. And it got ripped all over the place last night.
Yeah.
And including the eye for an eye. When Robin says, no, Harry sent me the video and it's gruesome, an eyeball comes out. I said, Robin, where? She said, at this I said, what was the match called? She said, an eye for an eye. I said, I get it now.
Yeah.
And Robin says, yeah, it was so grotesque they won't
Seth
show
Rollins
you the eyeball.
ripped Rey Mysterio's eye right out of his mask.
Oh, man, how is that not? How is that not trending?
And then he puked in the corner while they took Rey Mysterio to the back of the locker room to fix him.
Wow,
fix
did
his
they
eye.
pop it right back in?
I think they just popped it in like you do a shoulder.
Wow.
Separated shoulder.
What does Fauci have to say about an eyeball coming out of a mask?
I don't know,
Now,
man.
who picked it up? I mean,
But no, he had a mask on, though, Rey Mysterio.
Oh, that's right.
He wrestles in a mask, so he's okay.
So no COVID.
Out
Yeah.
of the mask.
No COVID, but a lost eyeball.
Oh, so the eyeball was hidden. It was like this. It's like the foreign object.
The foreign object.
Guys have
in the
skin-tight trunks on, and you never see it. And then all of a sudden, he reaches in.
There it is. There's
oh,
the eyeball.
the horror. Oh, the atrocity.
Wow,
And then
that
you can
looks
see.
so real.
Eye for an
so
eye.
real.
He pulled it right out of the mask on Extreme Rules. This is what happened to Rey Mysterio's eye, Harry.
Now, I was saying, so, Tony, your claim, fake news, but I was saying that what they should have done is they shouldn't have called it an eye for an eye match and then done this, and then it would have been much more dramatic.
No, see, that's the whole setup. You got to remember, you got to dumb it down for wrestling fans a little bit. Some of them, not all of them, because I was a big wrestling fan back in the day. If you call it an eye for an eye match, you're not thinking that somebody's eye is getting ripped out.
Right.
But then when you rip somebody's eye out, now I know why they called it an eye for an eye. How about that?
Vince McMahon is brilliant.
God, I haven't seen these kinds of great things since we would go after like Iranians and Russians, and when those guys were all the enemies.
Right.
Remember?
Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter was an
against
American hero.
The Sheik.
The Iron
Iranian Sheik.
No, the Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik, yes.
Who's still
correct.
the great best follower on Twitter.
Yeah, is he still on Twitter?
Oh, the Iron Sheik's phenomenal. He has the best tweets of anybody.
I know, but I'm saying...
No, he tweets out, and there's always an F word involved. Like, if you don't
The
do
Iron
this,
Sheik.
go F yourself. That's what the Iron Sheik does. He doesn't mess around. He's an eye for an eye guy.
Well, he just tweeted, go F yourself. Hashtag Monday Mood.
Exactly. That's why he's the great... I'm telling you, if you don't follow the Iron Sheik on Twitter, Harry, you just really should not follow anybody else.
8 hours ago, get the F up and best the F out of the jabroni COVID.
I'm telling you, nobody is a bigger straight shooter than the Iron Sheik. And he's not even an American. He used to be our enemy. Now he is a true American patriot.
He's a strapper.
No, he's not. He's genius. Speaking of strapper
Yes.
line next hour. And Kurt Helin of NBC Sports will actually sneak in a little NBA talk. Just a little sprinkling. Just a little bit. And then I'll throw him out of here like I did Howard Eskin. So stick around for that. It's Tony, Harry, the whole gang. SB Nation Radio, SiriusXM 211, and Twitch.tv.
They're saying we need to get the Iron Sheik on the show.
I don't actually think he tweets that stuff. I think
No.
he's got
No,
a guy that does
he
it
has
for him.
a
But
guy,
it's so
sure.
funny, though.
Be nice, people. Otherwise, I beat the F out of you.
Yes. No, you read his tweets. He is the best. Everyone is a jabroni.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. And look, he shows old videos of
Yeah.
himself.
What
What
are-
did he have in his hands?
I
They're
thought-
like bats, gigantic
Are they
bats.
paddles or what are they? Oh, you know what those are? Those are like the milk when you're when you're churning
Churning butter.
churning butter. Isn't that one of those butter churners? Two of them.
No, they're clubs.
Here, I'm going to put this on.
Robin, what do you know about Iranian war weapons?
Well, nothing.
At PM Cross 35 tweets, can you get Howard on every week? He hasn't talked about himself enough.
So this guy says, my across the street neighbor owns Iron Sheik style clubs and swings them every morning. I didn't know they were real, but those look like butter churning.
They're not,
things.
Robin. They're clubs.
I'm sure you're right, but
It's
that's
like
what they
solid
look like.
wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except they're probably made out of styrofoam.
I don't know.
Since I knew we had Howard coming on today, I even wore my WIP shirt.
Oh, I know.
man.
I should have mentioned it, man.
They are called Persian clubs.
I need your take on the honky tonk man. I remember him back in the day. It was too phony for me, though.
Yeah. That's the guy that looked like Elvis.
Yeah,
kinda,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Persian clubs. I'm looking it up. Persian
See,
clubs.
there they are.
Oh, yeah.
Persian clubs. Harry played at one, and then
Yeah.
they threw him the hell out of there. He told him he was Jewish. And they said, get out of here. You see Persians
Wooden
or Muslims,
exercise
and then you got
clubs.
the
They're Persian. Yep.
Persian clubs.
See, now I want to look at
The chicks all have like beards in the Persian clubs. So
butter
you don't want to go in there, man. It's nothing like a churner, Robin.
You're right.
God damn it. Listen,
You
I
know what?
churn a lot of
You know
butter
what
in
it
my
is?
day, man.
It actually looks like if this were all one solid piece, then
Yes,
it would have. But
it
that's
wasn't.
hollow.
It was a club.
Yep.
And I recommend the club, by the way.
Oh. Riddle, don't go in the backpack.
Where's Riddle? No, he's down here. See?
Yeah.
Riddle hasn't been down here.
Riddle loves Couch Guy.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Even Lily was warming up. Now, Lily's still been asleep behind me here
Yeah.
now for the entire length of the show. She is out. Rack her.
Now, I do believe.
Here we go, right after this.
Tebow's Pretzels. Who was it said this?
Do we want to do the
we got to do
strapper line now?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
It is the show that never ends, and we welcome everybody who's just finding us, everybody who joins us every day on SB Nation Radio, and, of course, on SiriusXM 211, the Dan Patrick Channel, 3 to 6 every Monday through Friday. Tell your friends. And then, of course, on twitch.tv/Tony Bruno Show. And you see the big news, Harry, that broke at the end of last week. We started a trend on Twitch because a lot of people say, you're on Twitch, that's a video game. And then what happened? We were the first sports show, and then all of a sudden, other sports shows started jumping in, and then Entercom, one of the biggest companies in the nation, jumped on board too, Harry. We've started another generation of being ahead of the curve. Forget the flattening of the curve.
Yeah.
I'm way ahead of the curve.
I was just talking to Mike Golick a couple days ago, and he was saying, just like Tony, to be the forefront of everything. Tony, I mean, he rattled off all the things that you started.
I helped start the morning show. It was already started. I joined the WIP morning show, and then it blew up because the team was good. Angelo was the leader. Al Morgani and myself.
Yeah.
That show blew up back in the early 90s.
First
late
of all,
80s.
it was Angelo, Brookshire, and Pellegrino, right?
Exactly
Brookie
right.
and the rookie, I think
and
they
Angelo was
started
the
calling-
rookie because he was a sports writer
Right.
who then went on to radio. That was his first entree into spoken word media, and he won Pulitzer nominee, great writer. And then I came along as a radio guy because those guys were all writers. Brookshire retired, and then I came in.
Was
and then I went to
Pellegrino already out?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he was doing TV sports.
Right.
And then I go to ESPN, and then I go to Fox, and now Twitch. So you can say I'm an old guy. You can call me Boomer and all these other people on Twitch and Twitter that call me names. Who are you? You're an old guy. Yeah, I'm an old guy. I'm an old guy who's done a lot of things.
And continues to do new things.
Exactly.
Trendsetter.
You can rip me about my social media. My social media game is on point. You can rip me about technical stuff.
Math.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't rip me about radio
Tony,
expertise.
I think that you proved that we don't have a leg to stand on. We cannot rip you about your Twitter usage ever again.
And you're not
Yes, we
worthy.
can.
You're not worthy of ever criticizing.
Yes, we can, and we will.
And trying to poo-poo or downplay my accomplishments in this industry.
Nobody wants to hear it. Yes, they do.
Say my name. That's all I say to you. As the great
Say my name.
Heisenberg
Yes.
said when he was cooking in the deserts of New Mexico in the trailer, say my name.
Oh, that's another T-shirt.
Say my name.
Now we have strapper line calls.
Yes, the strapper line. Let's check it out. Let's go to the strapper line. We have our man wearing his Cancun Riviera Maya Mexico shirt today, the great Joe C.
Apparently,
Strap on, strap on, strap on, strap on, the strapper line.
apparently Jeff in D.C. gets ripped.
Yes. So we saw on Twitter, speaking of Twitter, over the weekend that somebody was calling out Jeff in D.C. and said, you've been taken off the pedestal. I just left the best strapper line call ever. And declared that ahead of time. So
better be good.
Do we going to run them back-to-back against Jeff's last
No,
message?
because we've heard Jeff. Jeff
All
is basically our leader in the clubhouse, but now somebody's coming after him. And that's what this is all about. When you have, we've just had radio host on radio host crime last hour with Howard Eskin, right? And it became a battle royale, as they used to say in the old WWF days. Remember those?
Yes, those were
And then
great.
you had the steel cage match and the ladder match and all the other stuff that Nick Cale loves and still to this day. I bet you he loved that eyeball match last night.
I talked to him. He said he didn't even see it.
What?
Yeah.
Nick Cale down in Nashville was not watching the Extreme Rules WWE event last night?
I don't think he can no longer afford the WWE network.
Wow. But let's get it back to the strapper line to see what's going on today.
What up, Godfather Bruno? What up, Harry Mays? What up, Miss Robin? What up, Couch Guy? This is your resident Tennessee redneck Lambo 1919 from Twitter. And I just want to say, guys, this show does it all. Where else are you going to get NFL and MLB updates along with cow farting news? And, Tony, it's not my style to rip people, but Jeff in D.C.'s got this one coming. Instead of telling me to suck on helium and fist in my own mouth, maybe you need to study the English language there, my friend. And, yes, you have a redneck telling you to study the English language. Obviously, you illiterate piece of inbred poop don't even know what legible means. I'm sorry, were you reading something? Because last I checked, you were responding to an audio recording, numbnuts. Even the elderly, overweight John McMullen knows the definition of legible is handwriting or print clear enough to read. I'm sorry, Jeff. I hate to, but I've got to do it to you. What's funny, Tony, is he says, I'm from D.C. living in Philly. That's because he got his ass ran out of D.C. for sniffing fat chicks in his spin class for the sake of the ratio. I'm done. That's all I got. Thank you for everything you do. But as I step out here, hit me with that Rick and Iowa laugh and inject it straight into my veins. Tennessee redneck Lambo, out.
Now, I don't have the Rick and Iowa separate.
We need
to get
that.
because I had the old Kristen La Crosse, Wisconsin lab, which I memorialize to this day. We had to save that one. We got to get the Rick and put it in rotation
We do.
there.
Tennessee redneck Lambo, pretty good.
That's a strong performance right there.
Yeah.
He's in the mix. He's in the hopper. He's in the heezy. He's everywhere he needs to be. Sort of like the Visa card back in the day before they started charging 22% interest. You know what I'm saying, Aaron?
Yes, I do.
You better redneck-canize. You like that one? Ice Rink in Ottawa checking in. And the interesting story we were talking about earlier, Harry, is the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays, are not allowed to play in their own building up at the Rogers Centre in Toronto. So now they're looking around where they're going to play. And obviously the difference between baseball and hockey, because I first said, well, wait a minute. The Toronto Blue Jays can't play in their own building in their own city in Toronto, Canada,
Mm-hmm.
But all the other NHL teams will be able to be in the bubble in Toronto and play all their games in the Eastern Conference in Toronto and the Western Conference in Edmonton, Alberta, right?
Right.
And so now you see the Blue Jays are trying to figure out where they're going to play. Buffalo's their minor league team, but they don't want to play in a minor league stadium.
Well, it's not even just because there's no fans, so you'd think it wouldn't matter. Apparently, the
Dimensions.
facilities and stuff for the players, like the clubhouse, and the training areas and all that, are not up to snuff.
Exactly, and these big modern-day major league ballparks with the gigantic clubhouses and the medical facilities inside,
right?
And all the safety precautions, the tubs, the ices, the lotions, the potions, the suppositories, everything that you need to conduct business.
Right.
Now, they did offer, the Buffalo minor league team offered the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But the Blue Jays are saying, why should we play in a minor league stadium without the right? Again, it's not like Buffalo stinks. It's a minor league stadium.
Right.
The Rogers Center is a state-of-the-art facility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
everybody else has played. This isn't like the old day when you had Jarry Park in Montreal and it was a dump.
Right, and like you say, well, they play in minor league stadiums during their spring training and they don't complain. Well, yeah, because they have the rest of the complex
Exactly.
is massive, and it's all
They have
built-
like 6 fields
Yeah,
and everything
I mean,
else where guys can go work out in different parts, and guys can go bunting practice here, and
Right, and
pitchers can go and throw in another field.
and their clubhouses are like major league stadiums
Exactly,
in their
exactly.
spring training area. So, but I was hearing Baltimore they might share Baltimore's stadium.
Who wants to get stuck in Baltimore for 3 months?
So
I mean, even the Baltimore Orioles don't.
I know.
Even the Ravens don't. They get to at least travel when they go out.
So the latest update on where the Toronto Blue Jays could potentially be playing.
Oh, this is an update?
This is an update. So Baltimore was a rumor. That is a legitimate possibility. And Pittsburgh is
Really?
the latest city
Well, that's
and
a
team
beautiful
that they're
ballpark,
working
yes.
with. It says in an article on ESPN that they're talking closely with the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. Buffalo is their backup, as you guys mentioned. But per players and staff members within the organization, they do not want to play in a minor league facility. Their first home game is scheduled to be July 29th.
Right.
And they
which is
open the
next,
season.
Which is next Wednesday, a week from this Wednesday.
And they have no idea where it's going to be.
Wow. How about that? But they still would have to travel, so their home games would be in Baltimore. So then they'd have to alter the schedule, right?
Yeah,
because they already have the schedules made out for these teams. So if they don't play in Toronto and Baltimore's playing home games, when would Toronto play home games in Baltimore Stadium?
I mean,
or Pittsburgh.
Yeah, right. Or Pittsburgh.
Or
Would they-
Pittsburgh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wherever
Yeah.
they choose to be their home stadium.
unless
if
they
it's another
do day-night games, like one team plays during the day and the other at night, because there are no fans. It kind of doesn't matter, right?
Well, that's true, yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's interesting.
Wow.
But I got a guy in Pittsburgh. Somebody would say, I don't know what movie that's from. Where is that from? I got a guy in Pittsburgh.
That's from Goodfellas.
See, you guys all know his mob movies.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the great point is that there's no
His Pittsburgh connection.
No
Yeah.
Blue Jays in the stadium, but plenty of pigeons up there. And, of course, seagulls in Seattle. And that was remember when Randy Johnson blew up that seagull by accident? You talk about perfect timing. Randy Johnson.
Was it a pigeon that he hit?
No, it was a seagull.
It was
I
a
think.
seagull?
It was a seagull.
Not Jonathan Livingston seagull.
That was in spring training, I think, back
He
in the
blew
late
that baby
90s.
right up, man.
101. Poof.
Wow.
Think about the timing.
I know.
Think about how it had to perfectly be coming across the home plate area as
Right.
Randy Johnson's delivering the ball. We need an ESPN science breakdown segment on that. Remember the guy who did the science stuff?
The sports science.
Yeah, he's
Sports
pretty good,
science.
that
Yeah,
guy.
he's good.
Yeah.
I see him at the Super Bowl all the time. He's there. Good dude, man. Meanwhile, we have a.
I have it on the screen just in case.
Here it is. There's Randy. Look, watch this
Yeah.
again. The big left-hander.
Wow.
I
Coming
think it
across.
was a pigeon. I don't think it was it. That's
No,
yeah.
that's a seagull.
No,
Well, this is-
it's not big enough to be a
It's probably in Arizona. So do they have seagulls in Arizona?
seagull. No, it was too. You can see how big the bird
Yeah.
is, or how small the bird is.
I think it was a seagull.
That was pretty awesome. Now, could you have hit that thing with your bug assault rifle?
No,
No.
that wouldn't do anything.
No,
I shot the
I know,
couch
but
guy.
could
at
you
the
have
back.
hit it?
That seagull?
Yeah,
if
as
it was
it's-
standing still. Yeah,
No,
not
as it's
moving.
flying.
No.
Oh, okay.
I would need like my AK-47 or my Gatling gun to hit that thing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we have breaking news from the Hollywood scene, and this is a story I think we'd all get behind here, Harry. Bobby De Niro versus Mickey Rourke.
I saw this.
Who do you got?
Yeah.
Who you got, Harry? Because do we have time to get into this right now? Because there is a war going on now. Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro, and it is getting ugly. And it was Bobby D who I guess started it a couple years ago when he dissed Mickey Rourke, and now Mickey Rourke is firing back. De Niro's 76, allegedly broke.
Right.
Mickey Rourke is broken. As you can see,
He's a battered
He is
performer.
a battered performer, but he's still a pretty tough guy, Harry. I mean, he's
Yeah.
jacked. And now I think these guys should fight in the octagon or just bare knuckle.
Where's our guy that sets up these kinds of matches?
We need to set this up. Although I don't think De Niro would.
Feldman.
Damon Feldman?
Yeah. I'd watch that.
Now read the quotes from this is now Mickey Rourke going after Robert De Niro.
Wow.
In an expletive-laden post, he said he accused De Niro of not making negative comments to the media about him, referring to Rourke as a liar. This is the quote, Harry. Hey, Robert De Niro, that's right, I'm talking to you, you big effing crybaby. A friend of mine just recently told me a few months back you're quoted as saying to newspapers, quote, Mickey Rourke is a liar and talks all kinds of S. Rourke captioned the post, which featured an old film still of the Oscar winner.
Correct.
Say that fast 5 times. I want to see these guys throw down, Harry. And then it continued. He called De Niro. He said he would threaten him. He would embarrass De Niro severely. Listen, Mr. Tough Guy in the movies, you're the first person that ever called me a liar, and it was in a newspaper. Let me tell you something, you punk ass. When I see you, I swear to God on my grandmother, my brother, and all my dogs, I'm going to embarrass you severely 100%. He wrote, signing the post, Mickey Rourke, as God is my witness. Let's put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. How about that, Harry? Who do you have?
I got to take Mickey Rourke at this point.
Too.
Yeah.
He's got to be, what's the line right now? Let's get Philly Godfather on the line. I want an opening line, Mickey Rourke versus Bobby De Niro.
I think Mickey's at least minus 300. He's a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
He's 67, and De Niro's 76.
We already know he doesn't care about his face when he's in the ring, so, you know.
Mickey doesn't care about anything.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care about anything anymore, man.
I love that movie, The Wrestler.
He was great at that. Didn't he win an Academy Award for that?
Now, this is largely on top of, like, this whole thing. Obviously, they go way back. But he is accusing De Niro of preventing him from getting a role
in The
that
Irishman.
Scorsese wanted to give him in The Irishman.
Because at 3.5 hours wasn't enough. They needed to get Mickey Rourke in there, too, to make him look digitally younger, like all these other strappers in that movie, which I'd never watch at gunpoint.
Mickey Rourke doesn't get that pot.
I'd like to see them both fight and then just both kill each other, and they both die of COVID in the ring. And then they'd both be declared COVID deaths. And then the governor of New York, Cuomo, would say, it's a shame what happened to these two fine gentlemen. It's a shame that COVID got them. They were too old. I told them, over 65, you can't go out and do this. But they wouldn't listen at Madison Square Garden. We're coming back. NBA chatter. Kurt Helin, Harry. We're talking round ball.
Yeah, man.
Exactly right. Stick around.
Ay, ay, ay.
Eric Cohen posted this. On-air brawl between Tony and Howard Eskin raises Philadelphia temperature to triple digits.
Tony won't watch The Irishman, but watches that late-night row home crap.
Damn right I do. Not row home. I watch late night science and
Yeah.
I watch very little HGTV. Those shows are all the same now. Just a husband and wife.
Yeah.
I got enough problems yelling at Robin. I don't need to see other couples arguing all the time.
How about McMullen even got ripped during that strapper line?
I know.
call.
That's unbelievable, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was a equal opportunity rippage. Did
Rourke lose an eye for lose an eye for an eye match on in the Wrestler?
So I'm thinking either way, Tony.
Yes.
This doesn't have to be a full.
No, that's okay. Well, there's a lot to talk about, man.
Yeah, but
No, I love Mickey Rourke in Sin City. That was a bizarre movie. I love those.
Yeah, those
film
noir
crazy
movies.
Yeah.
Tony loves those.
What was the movie called?
Sin City.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
There was a couple of them.
Alba, right? Wasn't
They
that
were
just
all like
Alba?
they were the real characters, but then they were digitally transformed into like bizarre characters. They used makeup, but they used a lot of digital stuff. Very violent. Yeah, I agree. The Irishman was effing awful. That's what I'm hearing from everybody.
Well,
except greaseballs like Missinelli, who thought it was good, but he thinks all mob movies are good.
I think that you can't say something is good or bad unless you've actually seen it. That's my personal opinion.
If it's any over 3 hours, there's nothing good that's over 3 hours, Robin.
Well, even if you've only watched half an hour or
I saw
whatever.
clips of it. All I needed to see was the preview. I saw the scene of De Niro kicking the guy outside of the bar, and it was so bad. It was he wasn't within 3 feet of kicking the guy. at least in the fight scene, it looks like you're fighting. De Niro goes outside. He's supposed to be kicking this guy like they did in Goodfellas. And he doesn't come anywhere near him.
Yeah, that was pretty lame.
Pesci
I have to
was
admit.
good in it.
I have to admit that was pretty lame.
Have you seen that Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, I've seen it.
That
It's
was
supposed
awful.
to be.
I thought it
we
was
heard
pretty
it was
good.
supposed to be really
No,
good.
That was 3
thought-
hours. I thought I would never get back in my life, which I won't.
His
but
character was the most annoying person you've ever seen on film, but he was really good
But
at it.
wasn't
but see,
that-
the ending
it's
was
supposed to be like
was stupid. He just dies and that's it. There's no like. It
Oh,
doesn't wrap the
great! Now
story
you
up.
just
Yeah.
give away the ending.
And now I don't have to watch it.
Phil just witnessed a guy passing me by. He was doing at least 90 to 100 out of nowhere. CHP, California's finest, on his butt and pulled him over. I seen the cop jump out of the car after this guy. Dude.
Bigger grease ball. Snell, you're
Oh, look at
Cuomo.
this.
Oh, my God.
Ooh, that's a push.
I got to go Cuomo by a landslide.
Yeah.
Where is it? I just saw it. Somebody's girlfriend is starting to watch Bosch because of you and me, Harry.
Oh, yeah?
It's so good. Oh, I can't wait for the next season. They better continue that. I am on season 3 of Luther. It's not as good as Bosch by any means.
I have breaking news.
But it's still good.
A woman has urinated on the floor of a Verizon store after
Yeah,
a mass
I saw
argument.
that.
And then you know what else she did? She had earlier gone shopping at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Spanning the globe to bring you to